Hello everybody, my name is Colin Maniac908, and today I'll be showing you today's Bengals ball game. Cable's still on. Alright, it's good. I turned the TV on. Alrighty, 33 minutes into the game. Alright, channel. Alright, Cincinnati versus Buffalo. Alright, so
and the Cincinnati offense end around. Boy, Mohamed Sanu usually takes a look down the field and then lowers his shoulder, taking on a would-be tackler. So Hugh Jackson saw him and going deep into the playbook. They pick up 8.
Well, they want to get the ball down the field right here to A.J. Green, but take a look. He's covered. Mohamed Sanu wants to throw it. See, right there, he wanted to throw it, but he read the defense perfectly. Instead of forcing that ball down the field and risk it being intercepted, Sanu made a good decision not to throw the ball.
Sanu, the fourth-year man out of Rutgers, and former third-round pick. We've seen him throw the football before with good success. Second and short. Jeremy Hill has been the featured running back till this point. Catch and run on the touchdown earlier, tackled by Manny Lawson.
And right now, I think if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, you have to be patient. We know they want to get the ball in the hands of A.J. Green or Tyler Eifert, but the Buffalo Bills are determined not to allow number 18 or 85 to beat them. That means they're going to have to make good decisions of going elsewhere with the football, being very patient, and maybe allowing A.J. Green and Tyler Eifert to make their plays a little bit later when Rex Ryan shows one-on-one cover.
Hugh Jackson wants to think about it as Cincinnati will burn its first timeout. Hugh Jackson, who actually interviewed for the Bills head coaching vacancy before Buffalo elected to hire Rex Ryan, another little wrinkle to this heavyweight battle in the AFC.
It is a heavyweight battle. This is an important game for both teams. As you take a look at Hugh Jackson, looking at that play call sheet, I think the Bengals have to validate that big win at home, the come-from-behind win last week against Seattle, with a win here on the road to improve to 6-0. And then here, Buffalo, remember, here in Western New York, it started with a lot of excitement here, but now you've lost each of your last 2 games here at home, so you need to come away with a win.
Third and short, it's Hill. Able to get his shoulders going downhill, picks up a couple, and a Cincinnati Bengals first down. And also Solomon, something to prove for this Bills defense. We mentioned that last big test that they failed here, that Week 2 game against New England. Gave up a boatload of points before Tyrod Taylor was able to make it respectable. Rex Ryan expects big things from this unit on this kind of stage. Balanced play calling to this point by Hugh Jackson in Cincinnati. First and 10 from the 35. Dalton quick drop over the middle, incomplete. Unable to locate Marvin Jones. Excellent coverage by Stephon Gilmore, playing the best football of his career.
There is no doubt Gilmore has made plays like this all season long. From week 1 against the Indianapolis Colts, last week made tremendous amount of plays on the back end of the defense. And you can see one-on-one against Marvin Jones. He's got to be able to win if they're going to double cover Eifert and A.J. Green.
Gilmore, that decisive interception to put the Ravens 10-speed last Sunday on ice. Marvin Jones buried right after the catch. Marcel Darius and a host of other Bills in on the tackle. They lose a yard.
Wide receiver screen to Jones. He's got to be more decisive and get that ball up the field. He's got to cut it up, but it was well defended by the Buffalo Bills defense. Get the sense this is a real struggle for the Cincinnati Bengals offense to get going against a real talented defense. The crowd is into it. So it's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of patience for the Bengals offense to make money against the Bills today.
Rock the Casbah is outrageously entertaining.
Back at you, babe.
Hilarious.
Absolutely.
Irreverent.
You're repeating yourself.
Flat out funny.
You are really crazy about me.
You're a piece of work. Rock the Casbah.
It's worth the wait.
Rated R. When a moment turns romantic, why pause to take a pill? Or stop to find a bathroom? Cialis for daily use is approved to treat both erectile dysfunction and the urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and the free 30-tablet trial.
A better network as explained by J.J. Watt chopping wood in the middle of the forest. Verizon has the largest 4G LTE network. What does that mean? Well, pretend J.J. Watt is your signal. It means even out here, way out here, you'll find your signal working hard. Really, really hard. Because that's what a strong network does. That and play football. Watch live local and primetime games on NFL Mobile, only on Verizon.
This Monday.
What are you saying? We're not coordinated enough to play sports?
You twisted your ankle playing Scrabble.
It's an episode that's truly cutting edge.
Can I stab one of my friends?
We don't call it a stab, we call it a touch.
But if I say I want to touch one of my friends, I'll get called into human resources.
The Big Bang Theory. Prepare yourself for a rigorous touching. A new episode CBS this Monday. Bengals 3rd and 11. One win away from matching the best start in club history, but they need a big play here to move the chains.
5 defensive backs in. They're going to try to double on the tight end. If you're Sanu or Marvin Jones, you got to be able to win in this situation.
Fumble snap. Dalton can only fall on the football as Cincinnati averts disaster.
Russell Bodine, the center. This one was snapped. They lose 13 yards on the play. Look, it actually was a good snap. Dalton took his eye off of it. He should have been able to have it. He was waiting. He had his hands up, ready for the snap from the center, Russell Bodine. Much like that Michigan State game last night. Got to keep your eye on the ball.
Michigan fans still in fetal position, I'm sure. How to feel for that young punter from the Wolverines last night. Huber had a good punt on his first offering. Demarius Moore signals fair catch inside his own 15-yard line. A 36-yard punt from Huber. Week 6 continues later today on CBS and for some of you on Fox. Then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC. Tomorrow, Monday Night Football, an NFC East battle between the Giants and the Eagles. We are in Western New York, Ralph Wilson Stadium, better than 70,000. This place has been pulsating right from the start. Spiro Dita, Sam, and Wilcox, rest of our CBS crew. As you see the first 3 possessions for the Bills, already some highs and lows for E.J. Manuel.
Yeah, he's got to be able to stay even keeled, as he told us, and not ride with a wave of emotions in a ball game.
Manuel from the shotgun. Takes the draw play, and he's going to very nice effort to pick up some positive yardage. And we visited with E.J. Manuel. He's waited so long for this moment. The scars of being pulled Solomon after just 4 games last season. We asked him where he's improved, and the first thing that he talked about was keeping his emotions in check. Talked about that Houston game, took the disappointment with him to the facility. Doug Marrone sensed it and eventually pulled the plug, says he's grown from that point.
Yeah, he also said the players around him said he's been too long, so he's got to be able to move on from those negative moments, have a short memory, and know that his body language does affect the rest of the team.
Manuel pump fakes and a little delayed handoff. This is McCoy. Had a long 33-yard run earlier. And And that'll set up a third down. Nifty run by McCoy, a pickup of 7.
Well, if you're the Bengals, you've got to understand, you've got to seal off the edges from LaShawn McCoy. He wants to do this, bounce it, as he did, getting around Geno Atkins there, then Carlos Dunlap. He's a guy that will run between the tackles, but he would more prefer to be able to bounce and hit to the edges where he could make for a long run.
See what Buffalo has done on third down conversions. Much better today than they've been so far this season. 3rd and 3. Daniel has time. Pocket starts to collapse. Able to get the football out. Wallace Gilberry, as you see Cincinnati asking for the penalty, and now the flag will come in late from Clete Blakeman.
Let's go ahead and roll it. We're going to show you the coverage here as the pressure pours in on E.J. Manuel. And look, we stop it right there. Take a look. Every guy is covered. He's got nowhere to go with the football. And the pressure continues to pour in. Now, he does get out of the tackle box there and tries to throw it away, but it's too late. There was no receiver near where he was, and he didn't get the ball back to the line of scrimmage, which is why they're going to penalize him for intentional grounding.
18 yards on the play when you factor in the penalty. And so a tough situation here for Buffalo as they will have to punt from deep in their own end zone with Colton Schmidt.
Penalty's a spot foul because it's further than 10 yards back from the previous spot. It's also a loss of down, brings up 4th down.
All right, Clete Blakeman makes the announcement. So here is Schmidt, who has been very busy. 14 punts over the last 2 games.
This is where Adam Jones would like to be able to give his team a bit of a field position.
Schmidt has to get it off quickly. Jones backpedaling, but makes the catch out of bounds. But once again, excellent field position for Andy Dalton after a 53-yard punt.
Something amazing happens. The first luxury brand awarded top safety ratings across its entire model line. Acura.
CBS this Monday.
Who's that?
To know, sir. Michael Weatherly comes to L.A.
So this is the secret lair of the West Coast Avengers.
In the biggest event
1, 2, 3
of the season.
Gibbs said I should give you a message.
That was fun.
Just another day in L.A., baby.
UNCIS LA, CBS Monday.
On Tuesday, the Bills joined with the United Way of Buffalo and Erie County to host a flag football clinic in conjunction with Fuel Up to Play 60. 100 students from Buffalo Public Schools participated in warm-ups and drills led by players as part of the Fuel Up to Play 60 program. There was also an autograph session with the players. What a thrill for those youngsters earlier this week. Better than 70,000, all tied at 7, Cincinnati and Buffalo. Bengals trying to get to 6-0, and the Bills looking for what would be an enormous home win here in Week 6. Tom, look at the average field position for this offense on the season that's carried into today.
Yeah, they're one of the best in the National Football League for 2 consecutive years in terms of their field position. Adam Jones is so good in the return game where he was an all-pro 1 year ago.
Here's Giovanni Bernard, this lethal 1-2 punch that Hugh Jackson has had at his disposal. Bernard, healthy again, enters the day 3rd in the NFL with 5.5 yards per rush.
He is so good. And just, again, another one of those weapons along with Jeremy Hill. We talked about the receivers, the dual threat at running back between Hill and Giovanni Bernard, Hugh Jackson, and Andy Dalton, they know how to use the weapons on this offense.
Jake Fisher back on the field. The backup offensive tackle is eligible. They've already attempted one pass in his direction. Second and 4. Dalton, little screen to Bernard out of the backfield. Not a great grass in front of him. Crosses the 30, lowers it down to 25, now John Williams as Bernard picks up 24 on the catch and run.
If they're going to double cover everyone downfield and try to match up, Preston Brown, the linebacker, he's matched up against Bernard, and Bernard's too fast. He's able to get around and outside of Preston Brown, who's normally really good in coverage, but Bernard takes a lick from Duke Williams.
When he has been healthy, Bernard among the best all-around running backs in the NFL. First and 10, here's Dalton. Surveys the defense, throws out, fires near side. It is caught as Ryan Hewitt, and they say completed pass. Hewitt able to get both feet down as they pick up 13 yards and a first down.
You know, Hewitt's just one of these utility players. He can do a little bit of everything. You got to ask, did he get 2 feet in bounds, though?
It didn't look like that vantage point.
Like one to me, and they're going to come back and take a look at it. But there's a guy that's been a fullback in this offense, a tight end. He's done some of everything.
Ronald Darby
Buffalo is challenging
on the coverage. No, Rex Ryan has already won one challenge. Appears as though he'll win a second. Didn't look like Hewitt had that second foot down, and it wasn't even close.
Hold the phone. Because AT&T and DirecTV are now one. Which means you can access your DVR at the DMV. Change channels while he changes pants. You don't have to be a couch potato. You can be a train potato. And let them watch all the shows they love inside the ride that you really kind of hate. Introducing the all-in-one plan, only from DirecTV and AT&T.
The keys to this home belong to Mark and Alyssa Anderson. They bought the place 4 months ago, on what was arguably the scariest day of their lives. Neither has any idea what the future holds for them, but they bought into a 30-year mortgage anyway. That was bold. They must really believe in themselves. Buy in. Quicken Loans. Home buy, refi, power.
Hey, Doug, how'd that discount double check work out for you?
Oh, that was great. Good. I wish I had double checked before discussing that play earlier.
Did anybody catch that play?
No. Okay, we're going to act like we're debating about it. You two do the bouncing football thing. You rub your head like it's a real tough call. No, that looks like you're having a migraine. I'm going to break the huddle confidently, and we're going to call it incomplete.
Mike's on!
First down! Thank you. 70,000 people were there.
20 million more watching at home.
Got it!
Save big with State Farm.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly. Acura, the leading automotive brand in safety performance. And by AT&T. DirecTV and AT&T are now one, bringing television and wireless together.
Awaiting the ruling on that last call, which was a completed pass to Cincinnati's Ryan Hewitt. Here's Cleve Blakeman.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field has been changed. The receiver only got 1 foot down and bounds. By Williams, it's an incomplete pass. Will bring up second down. Buffalo is not charged with a timeout.
All right, Rex Ryan pitching a perfect game. Let's bring in Mike Carey once again. Mike?
Well, this is much closer than you think. Watch his right foot. Is it down when he catches the ball, when it first hits his hand? Or was it up? Very tight to call. This one I would have let stand.
There's the right foot right there that Mike is talking about. Kind of thought that right foot came up, Mike, in my opinion, anyway, as the ball came in. But, you know, Mike said he would have called it a catch. I think a lot of people in Cincinnati would agree.
I would have let the play stand. I don't think I would have called it a catch, but that was too tight to reverse, in my opinion.
All right, Mike, thank you. Some very close calls in this first half already. And just a small example of how subjective and how difficult the job is that these officials have trying to make these calls in real time. And with that, Buffalo gets an extra challenge because they were right on cue till this point. Quick strike as Marvin Jones over the middle. As Andy Dalton picks up 9 through the air. Dalton Zalman has completed passes to 7 different receivers already.
And Sanu hasn't been able to catch one. We talked about Marvin Jones. Getting other players involved in the offense is going to be critical with they're paying so much attention on the defense to A.J. Green and Tyler Eifert.
Dalton running front. What is Bernard? Shot out of a cannon into the end zone for the Cincinnati touchdown. 17 yards as the Bengals take their first lead.
Well, you got to love it. And Andy Dalton did a really good job of checking them into the run game. Watch they pull the backside guard and tackle. 65 Clint Bowling. Andrew Whitworth opened the door for Gio Bernard, who walks his way into the end zone. Watch the two big guys getting around the corner, pulling it off. Wow. Again, coverage is set so much on the wide receivers that they got to play the run.
Giovanni Bernard showing off the wheels on that sprint.
They're going to record it in here. I'll probably watch it out there.
As the Bengals march 5 plays, 55 yards in just over 2 minutes.
Dear Jenny, stay strong. Dad. Go to NFLshop.com.
It's the place where young doctors.
She's obviously faking. A lot of experience with that, huh?
Learn to be great.
I can't be pregnant. I'm a virgin.
What's your diagnosis? Immaculate conception?
But this Wednesday,
I know how much you love your son. I'm going to make sure that you two walk out of here together.
their youngest patient will push them
Oh my God.
beyond their limits.
Folks.
An unforgettable Code Black, new CBS Wednesday.
17-yard touchdown run by Giovanni Bernard. And the Bengals deep front for the first time in his first half, up 7 with 10 and change left before halftime. Sparodita, Salmon Wilcox, as Andy Dalton in Cincinnati trying to remain perfect. Update from the Buffalo sideline, one of their tackles, Seantrail Henderson, the former 7th-round pick out of Miami, has suffered a concussion. They've taken him into the locker room. And we'll try to get an update on him as quickly as we can. How about Sammy Watkins, Salmon? You mentioned the comments that he made, wants more targets. Quiet till this point.
And he's only been targeted once in the game. You can see him going at it with Adam Jones. This is the one time they did target him, was not able to haul it in. Trickler passage on the coverage. And now he's just kind of off to the side. Remember, they moved up from the 4th overall pick 1 year ago in the draft to, I should say, from 9 to number 4 to take him, but haven't used him a whole lot, at least here in the 2015 season.
First and 10, McCoy on a a draw play, loses his footing and loses yardage on first down. Now we've been told that Seantrell Henderson will not return with the concussion, and so Cyrus Quanjo, the second-year tackle out of Alabama and the former second-round pick, is next man up.
Even more important for them to continue to work and pound the run game up front. Richie Incognito leads that group. To me, they're more suited in Greg Roman's run scheme than they are in pass protection and trying to protect the quarterback. They've got to continue to rely on the run game.
Manuel pump fakes on the point, second and 14. Near side, boy, had Clay wide open, underthrown. The pressure was coming from Wallace Gilberry. And Manuel's off target. It'll be third and long.
Yeah, Manuel's got to set his feet and make this throw. It was pressure bearing down, but see, he's got to stay within himself. See him gather himself. Yeah, he felt a little push, a little shove in the back, but you see this ball clearly underthrown. Play was wide open.
Of Manuel's 5 completions, 4 of them have been to Clay. Where does he go here on third and 14? Manuel over the middle. Chris Hogan wide open. Below 30. Hogan well short. Vinny Ray on a tackle. 8 yards. But once again, the Bills will punt.
Well, the Bengals defended it perfectly. They rushed 3 and dropped 8. And if you're E.J. Manuel, you don't want to force that ball down the field in coverage. You check it down to Hogan, allow him to possibly break, slip a tackle, and try to create a first down. But you have to be very conservative in that situation.
This has been a very impressive Cincinnati defense. Started slowly last week in that victory over Seattle. Yet to allow 25 points in a game this season, one of 6 teams to make that claim. Jones along the sideline, able to dance his way across the 45, close to the 50. Penalty marker thrown. Rex Ryan holding his breath. So many penalties against his special teams this season. 45 yards on the punt, 18 on the return from Jones.
During the return, personal foul, grabbing the face mask on the kicking team. Number 88. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down, Cincinnati.
It's Marquise Goodwin on the face mask. Man, that look from Rex Ryan tells the story.
Another penalty, another senseless penalty. Because why would you grab someone's face mask right there? You can see him. And that's not going to help you. You're not even on the field to play if you're Marquise Goodwin there. You got to stay in the field to play, be able to make a tackle on Adam Jones. And right now, Rex Ryan said it's still 58 penalties this season, by far the most in the NFL.
So Marquise Goodwin, a penalty. And now first and 10, once again, inside Bills territory for Andy Dalton. And this offense, Jeremy Hill with a nice little run on first down. Tonight on 60 Minutes, Darrelle Revis, one of the NFL's greatest on and off the field, plus the generous spirit and people behind Make-A-Wish. Tonight, only CBS. 7-point Cincinnati lead. That clock continues to run. We come up on 8 minutes left as Goodwin helplessly looks on from that Bills sideline. Look at the average start for Cincinnati till this point. Second and 9, Dalton near side completes right at the 30. That's Marvin Jones, who's been busy in this first half. Jones' 4th catch at over 20 yards. He picks up 6.
And how many times have we seen Jones catch one of these stop or comeback routes? They could be set the corner up for a stop and go, one of the double moves. Jones is really good at stretching the defense and getting deep with the vertical route. So expect him to maybe run one of those double moves to get it into the end zone.
Dalton on 3rd and 3, pump fakes right, rolls out. His throw across his body and just tosses it out of bounds. Good decision by Dalton not to force it in field goal range as Mike Nugent and his unit come onto the field.
Watch the double move by A.J. Green. Right there, gets spin up. but they were able to grab him. Ron Darby there, and then the pressure was on. Randy Reed felt he should have gotten the ball. You can see Hugh Jackson saying, stay with it, because he was ready to beat Ron Darby on that double move we were forecasting.
Bart Harris, the long snapper. Kevin Seaver is the holder. Nugent's career long here in Buffalo. Back in October of 2013. This one is good. From 47 yards out. Cincinnati tacks on 3 and builds on its lead. Now it's 10 on CBS.
Still haven't tried FanDuel's one-week fantasy football leagues? Over 1 million fans have already won money. Choose a league. They start at $1. Pick your team. Done. Winners get paid the next day, and there's no season-long commitment. FanDuel pays out $75 million a week. Get off the sidelines and get some. Try FanDuel today. We'll match your first deposit up to $200. Love it or your money back. Guaranteed. Go to FanDuel.com, enter promo code UNIFORM. That's UNIFORM.
$6.99 any deal, I can get a meat lovers, and they can get all the fresh vegetables they want. No more compromise.
Bring home the flavor with America's no-compromise pizza deal. Get any 2-medium pizzas with any quality toppings, any crust, any specialty, just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
Okay, boys, what do you got for me?
Critics everywhere are full of for Supergirl.
My friend likes to make an entrance.
It's the TV superhero we've been waiting for. With exhilarating action.
Oh, come on!
Entertainment Weekly says watch it live.
It's incredible! Oh, sorry, that was too hard.
Let's hear it for Supergirl.
This sounds like a job for Supergirl.
Supergirl. Series premiere CBS October 26th.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Walmart. For winning game time recipes, visit Walmart.com. And by United States Air Force. Experience more at airforce.com.
Well, 17 unanswered points by Cincinnati after Buffalo drove 80 yards on their opening drive. It was all E.J. Manuel. But to the wild pendulum swings during an NFL game, as right now the Bills desperately looking for some points.
Well, the Bengals have taken advantage of this great field position. They've also taken advantage of some critical penalties at critical moments by the Bills, helping the Cincinnati Bengals to get points on the board. So right now, Cincinnati's playing a more complementary style of play with just playing clean, good offense, good defense to take the lead here in this ballgame.
So much importance on this game for Buffalo for obvious reasons, but after today, they get on a plane fly to London. Will play Jacksonville overseas next Sunday. 4 of their next 5 games on the road as Goodwin is buried right around the 10, and it looks like Goodwin is hurt. So E.J. Manuel trotting back onto the field, trying to fight his way through some struggles in his first half.
Yeah, and after the first drive, this is the struggles we talked about. Still throwing the interception to Darquez Denard, and then getting out of the pocket and getting hit with the intentional grounding penalty, and then from there just can't find his rhythm to get the ball to his open tight end, Charles Clay. And so the offense has really struggled after that first possession. You can see the 4 drives since. 4 3 and out. That's not good at all. He's got to begin to find some rhythm and just get the ball out of his hands quickly, and as he told us, trust what he's seeing and then cut it loose.
There's Tyrod Taylor, who just joined us, left MCL playing sustained at 1-point win at Tennessee last week. So he's a spectator here in week 6. Game. First and 10 from inside the 15. Manuel takes the handoff, throws in the one high pass. What a catch by Clay. Snatches it out of the air and picks up 6. Tackle on the play by the safety, George Iloka.
What did E.J. Manuel tell us? He spent the offseason working with former NFL quarterback Steve DeBerg, trying to shorten up his release said he had a tendency, because he's a former baseball player, to come around a little bit too much, wanted it more compact. This is what they need to do more of, run the ball.
This was Sean McCoy. Inches closer to the first down. He said the other thing that Steve DeBerg helped him work on, Sam, is being more decisive with the football, making those snap decisions that you have to make as a quarterback.
Yeah, he talked about creating a more natural throwing motion, but that is in sync with just the instinct to be able to trust what you see and be able to read the defense, but have a good feel for it and trust what you see, and so that everything sort of works together, the head and body. This is something I thought that came natural the first few games we saw Tyrod Taylor play. There's a kid that I think he's earning his way into the hearts of everyone here in Buffalo. And now E.J. Manuel, the former first-round pick, it was said today that providing his performance today, maybe he can play his way back into becoming a starter on this team.
Chase Crew confirms a first down for Buffalo. How about that? Especially if you're Tyrod Taylor, you see some of the reports. You lead your team to a win, fight your way through a knee injury to do it during that game, and could potentially lose your job if your backup comes in and performs well. The cruel realities, Solomon, in the NFL.
And E.J. Manuel, remember, he is a former first-round pick, so a lot invested in him. Head coach Ryan traded to get Tyrod Taylor.
Running through 10 to the screen pass, McCoy able to cover up the football. Michael Johnson coming in with that karate chop at the end of the play.
And I stand corrected, they actually signed Tyrod Taylor this offseason in free agency, but nonetheless, both guys are young, they're talented. Tyrod Taylor's had 4 years to kind of sit back and watch, and now getting his opportunity, while E.J. Manuel's kind of had to learn and grow through trial and error.
Rick Stick saying he wanted to trade for Tyrod Taylor when he was head coach of the Jets. A trade that never came to fruition. Manuel on 2nd and 7, sneaks it far side. Sammy Watkins with his first catch. First down catch. They pick up 8 and move the chains. And you hear the cheer from 70,000 plus.
Well, this is what we were talking about. Sammy Watkins getting separation against Drake Kirkpatrick, and what a throw from E.J. Manuel. He was able to cut it loose, trust what he saw. And I agree with Sammy Watkins. You want to jumpstart this offense, and we know they can run the football with the Buffalo Bills, but you've got to target Sammy Watkins and allow his talent to really work for this offense.
William Herron making his second appearance as a Bill. There's some miscommunication there between he and E.J. Manuel. Manuel, nice job to make something out of nothing. So it didn't appear that Herron was on the same page with Manuel. 2nd and 9.
Herron was signed, 1 week ago? So it's all new to him. Lined up to the right. You can see he's not ready to take it. Sort of a read option inside zone run play. Herron's got to be more in tune with his playbook.
Herron signed October the 6th. Stays on the field on 2nd and 9. Panthers coming. Herron out past the 40, close to the 45. They pick up 8. It'll set up a 3rd and short. Ray Maluga and Vinny Ray combined on the tackle.
And now when you see the big bodies come on for Buffalo, Jerome Felton, number 42, it's a clear sign they're going to come with a power run game. You get 3rd and 1. Greg Roman, the offense coordinator, you don't have to ask a lot for him to dial up a run play. He's going into the locker room, right?
Marquise Goodwin will try to get an update on him as quickly as we can. 3rd and short. Manuel fakes the sneak to the screen to McCoy, trying to bust it inside. Lunges to the first down marker. Penalty marker comes in from the secondary. No signal yet from the officials, and this one appears to be a hold against the Bills.
That's a sort of a interesting play. You bring in the big bodies, you pack it in, and you try to kind of bait the defense, and then you flip it and throw it over to LaShawn McCoy to get outside.
Holding. Offense, number 10. The 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
Robert Woods on the penalty. We know Greg Roman, their coordinator, is very multiple in his run looks. And that's a play that we haven't seen.
And again, Spiro, another penalty to set Greg Roman back in his play calling. You can see right here, there it is right there. Number 10 against Drake Kirkpatrick. Hold it. Gonna call.
Penalty. Movement free snap.
That Wallace Gilberry, number 95, looked like he was drawn offsides by the hard count.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty. Replay third down.
That's Wallace Gilberry. We're told it is a rib injury for Goodwin. His return is questionable as Cincinnati is called for his first penalty. Big decision here for Greg Roman. Where do the Bills go on 3rd and 6? Down 10 with all 3 timeouts left. Let's pick up on McCoy. That pass fired far side of the field. Woods with the catch. First down, a pickup of 9. Kirkpatrick on the tackle.
Really good throw by E.J. Manuel. And they're starting to work in front of Drake Kirkpatrick as Woods is able to snap this one off, settle in front. Kirkpatrick giving up maybe a little bit too much cushion, have to be able to drive on that ball, but what a throw from Manuel. Starting to make some plays, starting to get in rhythm throwing the football.
Should take us down to the 2-minute warning. And some extra time for Greg Roman to talk it over with his quarterback, E.J. Manuel. 17 straight points for Cincinnati, up 10. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Something amazing happens. The first luxury brand awarded top safety ratings across its entire model line. Acura.
Grab a crisp, refreshing Bud Light. Put 2 plans on the table and let the NFL coin toss decide.
Okay, heads, Todd says we go to Tina's pool party tomorrow.
Nice.
Tails, we go to the beach all day and snuggle.
Nice.
Wait, autocorrect. He meant snorkel.
Cool.
When you need glasses, you gather the girls to find your look. But sometimes you need a deciding vote.
Yeah, what do you think of it? Love them.
Find new brands like Flower by Drew Barrymore, backed by our 12-month guarantee.
Castrol Edge Motor Oil presents the Titanium Strong Play of the Week. Trailing the Chiefs in the 4th quarter last week, the Bears cut the lead to 5 with a touchdown catch by receiver Marquise Wilson. Later, in the final minute, quarterback Jay Cutler came through in the clutch, keeping his cool after fumbling the snap and throwing for the game-winning score to Matt Forte. Castrol Edge, Titanium Strong for maximum performance.
CBS Wednesday on Survivor Second Chance. Some castaways are changing.
I'm trying to form bonds. It might just make the difference in my game.
Some are not.
To go through what my mom did and never give up, to me, that's huge inspiration.
I'm trying to get sympathy. If he writes my name down again, he's dead to me.
New Survivor, CBS Wednesday.
Cincinnati offense entered the day averaging 420 yards of total offense has been held in check. Part of that having to do, Solomon, with the short fields that they've had. Now, right now the Bengals up by 10, 17 unanswered points. 2 minutes to play. Bills have all 3 timeouts. 1st and 10 from outside their own 45. Daniels wins it. Caught inside Cincinnati territory. Second catch of the day for Sammy Watkins. They pick up 9. Good battle between he and Adam Jones.
And they're starting to get Sammy Watkins involved. He caught this ball in between the linebacker and the defensive defensive back, actually 2 defensive backs, Darquez and Oz providing the underneath coverage. But you've got to keep a player like Sammy Watkins, the wide receivers, get them involved early so they can start to get into the rhythm.
Here's McCoy on second and short, crosses the 40, first down and 10. As McCoy picks up 4. Now time management, a huge aspect of this thing for Rex Ryan with all 3 timeouts in his back pocket.
Yeah, I'd like to see him go in and use them and try to get some points here, but right now you got to push the ball down the field if you're E.J. Manuel to get into scoring position.
Manuel from the gun, first and 10, kind of stumbles, and is barely able to get to the line of scrimmage. As now Buffalo will take its first timeout. A reminder to keep it here. The Verizon halftime report is coming up next. We'll send you to New York. JB, Tony, Bart Boomer, and Coach Cowers standing by. We'll have the latest scores and highlights as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network on the Verizon halftime report. Spiro Ditas, Salmon Wilcox. What's Greg Roman talking about Salmon with E.J. Manuel?
Yeah, I think he's going to try to get the ball to his number 1 playmaker. To me, I think it's got to be Charles Clay over the middle of the field. They've had some good looks, and he's been open, and at times, E.J. Manuel's not been able to hit him. The problem with the Cincinnati Bengals, though, I've been hearing all week, are how they're going to target Sammy Watkins. To me, he's got to be double covered in this area of the field. And if you try to squeeze it in there, you've got to intercept Manuel trying to get it over to Watkins.
Johnson was able to get back in his stance before this. Right on cue, catches it, gets to the 30. Tackled by Vinny Ray. And that'll set up a 3rd and short. Manuel hustles to the line of scrimmage. Bill Stone. Manuel trying to get first down. No signal yet from the officials. And now Cleve Lakeman says first down Buffalo.
That was smart to go hurry up, try to get a new set of downs, then use the timeout. 33 seconds left with a timeout still in your pocket. Like to think they're going to take a shot at the end zone. If you're the Cincinnati Bengals, though, to me, you've got to be, this is where your pass rush has to be able to come to life for you. What did Marvin Lewis tell us yesterday that he loved about his defense? He said, my defense is now getting critical stops at critical moments in ball games. You saw him do it last week against a mobile quarterback like Russell Wilson. In that 4th quarter, they got significant stops. One possession after another. Paul Gunther's group has done a good job, and now they need a stop here.
It's where he has seen some of the biggest growth within this team. Cincinnati last season became the first team in the NFL since 2011 to win after trailing by 17 or more in the 4th quarter. Manuel on first and 10, completes the assist. Charles Clay taking on tacklers close to the 20. Mainly play by Clay, the former Dolphin. 7 hard-fought yards. And it looks like Adam Jones is the injured Bengal.
He ran into Charles Clay pretty hard. Clay didn't move backwards at all. He's a big guy. Take a look at this. But if you're the Bengals, you got to know Charles Clay is the go-to guy. That's where he ran into it. Bigger guy won.
And with that collision, it looked like Clay's helmet caught Jones right in the sternum. And Jones, a guy Solomon, who throws his body around, sacrifices himself. What a player he's become with the roller coaster that he's been on in his career. Banged up, had that elbow injury a couple of weeks after their Week 3 game. Was able to grit his way onto the field, didn't miss any time. And a good sign is Jones is able to walk off or run off on his own power.
Marvin Lewis even talked about Adam Jones being, one of the players that's so much improved in terms of the leader that he's become on this football team, an impact player. We've already shown you on special teams how he helped with field position, but the toughness that he provides and really working with some of those young defensive backs on the back end, he's become one of the leaders, one of the guys they rely upon.
Jones still admits he has issues with his composure at times. We've seen that this season. But the evolution in his game has been incredible. One timeout for Buffalo, 2nd and 3, under 23 seconds left. Manuel flushed out, gonna throw on the run, end zone, it is caught. Watkins for the touchdown. 22 yards on a strike from Manuel.
This is incredible because they're in a bunch formation, and he's lined up with Charles Clay. And look, he's going to come down the field right here, and as E.J. Manuel gets out, they drop coverage on Sammy Watkins. They had it covered initially, but watch as Manuel uncovers, and there you see him wide open on the back end. How do you leave Sammy Watkins wide open in the end zone? Looks like most of the coverage was drawn over to Clay. George Iloka is there, and no one covers Sammy Watkins.
And Sammy Watkins is on the field. Got up very gingerly, started to walk to the sideline, and then went down to the turf. And Watkins has been just unlucky when it comes to injuries. Multiple ailments last year. Missed a bunch of training camp this season with a glute injury. Then had the calf in week 3 in Miami. Missed the last 2 games. And even on a play where he scores a touchdown, Solomon, he clutches what appeared to be his left ankle as the trainers come onto the field.
It'd be unfortunate. He jammed that foot in the ground trying to stop himself to come back and catch a ball that wasn't well thrown, but good enough for him to get under it and be able to make this catch. You can only hope that he's okay, because this guy's healthy now. He's a talented player. Take a look. Wide open. He'll jam that foot in the ground, trying to stop himself. It's right there. Come back. Like his left leg, ankle injury. He was able to hold on to it and make the catch.
What an effort by Watkins. Injured, able to maintain his concentration and catch a 22-yard touchdown pass from Manuel.
What about E.J. Manuel? 15 plays, 86 yards. They needed him to make a play. Remember, they had gone 3 and out. Their previous 4 possessions scored on the first possession, but then you go 3 and out 4 straight times. Now your defense starts to wear thin. For him to be able to go the length of the field on this final possession here in the first half really helps his football team going in at the half and really gives his defense the rest they needed.
So keep in mind, Buffalo is already without Percy Harvin, their number 2 receiver today, hip injury. Robert Woods making his 2nd start of the season, so they certainly hope that Watkins is going to be able to come back in the second half. Stan Carpenter lines up for the point after. By the way, for Manuel's first touchdown pass since week 4 of last season, and what was his last start before today. Carpenter is good, and Buffalo able to cut the Cincinnati lead to 3. Another reminder coming up next, the Verizon halftime report from New York. Guys will get you updated on the NFL here in week 6, plus a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. The Verizon halftime report comes your way next on CBS. Solomon, we expected it to be physical. We expected it to be close. 3-point game, closing seconds to first half.
There we go. The both quarterbacks are surrounded with weapons, but how about the mobility of E.J. Manuel to get the Bills their first touchdown, and then Jeremy Hill, very gifty getting this one into the end zone. Then with running mate in that backfield, Gio Bernard, he scampers in for a touchdown, and Sammy Watkins says, "You got to target me, and I'll get you into the end zone." He does there on a 26-yard touchdown reception at the end of the second quarter. So he's going to limp in at halftime. They're going to take a look at him, but culminated 15-play, 86-yard drive, which is well orchestrated by this quarterback.
The Bills dressed 5 receivers today. Ford had to leave with a rib injury. His return questionable. Already no Percy Harvin, and now Watkins limping into the Bills locker room. We'll get an update on him at halftime, and I'll get you caught up as soon as we get ready for the third quarter.
See the Bengals outscoring opponents in the first half. overwhelming fashion.
Bengals, by the way, will receive the football to start the second half. AFC slugfest here in Buffalo. Bills drove 80 yards on their opening drive, took a 7-0 lead. Then Cincinnati with 17 unanswered before Buffalo scores to cut it to 3. Halftime in Buffalo. The Verizon halftime report is coming up next. After this message and a word from your local station, you're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50.
Trying to make nice with Russia is dangerous.
Russia is not afraid of you.
When it comes to foreign policy, what this nation needs is strategy.
Greg Sterling's have to land us in a shooting war with Russia. I can't let him do that.
A new Madam Secretary. Then her client is trouble.
You're not who you say you are. I'm being set up.
And her mother is a disaster.
Have you been drinking? No.
A new good wife after Madam Secretary tonight. Tom Selleck stars in a new Blue Bloods. CBS this Friday.
This is the Ford F-150, the only pickup with a high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy body bolted to a high-strength steel frame. It's also a wake-up call for every full-size pickup in its class. No body work, most towing, best payload, highest gas mileage. This is the Ford F-150, and every other truck is history.
Now get an F-150 with 0% financing for 60 months, or get up to $7,050 in total savings.
I was meant to listen, to help, to heal. I was meant to be there when you need me, to help you be well.
Mercy Health Physicians are more than your doctors. They are your partners in health. Visit mercy.com to find a Mercy Health physician near you.
I am a Mercy Health physician, and caring for you is what I was meant to do.
Wow, no wonder Hyundai's ranked #1 in customer loyalty. Elantra, 7-inch touchscreen nav, remote start from my phone, rearview camera, Sonata, 5-star overall safety rating, lane departure warning, hands-free smart trunk.
And America's best warranty.
America's best warranty.
Now get the 2016 Elantra with 0% APR for 6 years, or $2,500 bonus cash. That's the new one.
I made it up.
Now, visit buyhyundai.com.
Local 12 News, the most watched news team in Cincinnati.
You are watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50.
Sleep tomorrow.
CBS Sports presents the Verizon Halftime Report.
And welcome back to our New York studio and the Verizon Halftime Report. With Verizon, you have football in the palm of your hand. Watch live, local, and primetime games on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. It's included only on Verizon. I'm James Brown alongside my guys, Tony, Coach, Bart, and Boomer. Folks, to the highlights we go.
All right, big game up in Buffalo. The Bengals visiting the Bills. How about E.J. Manuel right here towards the end of the second quarter? Rolls to his right, finds a wide open Sammy Watkins. You'll see right before the ball gets there, Watkins seems to tweak his lower left leg. He's taken off the field into the locker room for further evaluation. A barn burner of a game, by the way, going on, guys. 17-14 Bengals in the lead.
And for the second time in a week, in the last 2 weeks, the only offense for Denver has been their defense. Aqib Talib will intercept this pass intended for Travis Benjamin. He will take that right there, 63 yards for the touchdown. That's the 4th defensive touchdown score for the year for Denver as they lead 10-0. And you're going to see right there, 14th touchdown pass here by Carson Palmer to Michael Ford in the back of the end zone. They lead 10-3 at the half.
All right, Jets hosting the Redskins. Jets have amassed 220 yards of total offense, but they've turned the ball over 3 times. Those 3 turnovers have led to a 13-10 lead at halftime for the Washington Redskins. There goes Chris Ivory in for the touchdown for the Jets.
All right, get you guys out. Chiefs at the Vikings. You can see Teddy Bridgewater drop back here. Hit the old reliable tight end like he should. Kyle Rudolph right there. Scores that touchdown. By the way, at the half, 17 carries for Adrian Peterson, only 16 yards, 10-0.
Miami at Tennessee. There's Dan Campbell. We knew he was the new head coach. We didn't know if he could inspire. He wanted physicality, but they're running the ball down the throat of the Tennessee Titans. And Jarvis Landry takes the carry in for 22 yards on on the day. Cameron Wake, 4 sacks himself. Lamar Miller, 11 carries, 91 yards. It's a new team. Fire. It's a new team. And right here, you're going to find Brian Hoyer. We're going to find Aaron Bruce. I'm all over the place. Aaron Foster for a 14-yard carry. I'm excited. Sorry about that. Inspired me too, boy. I did.
All right, guys, check this out. Matthew Stafford drops back his Golden Tate here. Ball goes up in the air. It's ruled an interception on the play, but check it out. After the replay, they looked at it. They called this a touchdown because
Those moments ago, we have big plays. Terry Barnes, tight ends from the Cleveland Browns. Let it go, boom, let it go. Right here, loose. Josh McCown back in the end zone. Boom, touchdown. 10-7. They kept the lead.
Denver spills off. How about
Big play.
Josh McCown is playing great, but how about
What are you upset about?
No. First of all, that was not. I don't know if it's a catch or not a catch in the Detroit game. Who knows? But I do know this: we're all inspired by Dan Campbell right now.
I want to work out with him. They look back. Klaus, the cameraman, shook up on that one.
Yeah.
Verizon halftime report continues.
CBS Sports presents the Verizon Halftime Report. Watch live local games on NFL Mobile, only on Verizon.
Wake up and watch with the world. The NFL is live on Yahoo.
Everybody in the world will be watching.
You gotta see that.
Let's go.
The NFL is streaming a live game on Yahoo.
That's big.
Bills, Jags, live from London. Watch anywhere with everyone. The NFL on Yahoo. Watch with the world. Next Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern.
There's people that really helped me get to where I'm at today. Rod Smith really showed me the right way. You know, I was there to take his job, but Rod sat me down and said, this is the blueprint. This is how you do things. And as you go up that ladder, you want to look back and bring somebody with you. You're not always going to like everyone you play with, but along the way, you're going to find people that you really love. Is that too strong for you guys?
Get the Verizon Halftime Report, live online every Sunday, only from Verizon. Visit cbssports.com/Verizon.
Senior, 17, and continual junior in high school.
It's every parent's worst fear. All the victims were teenagers, but this wave of death is like they wanted them to see each other.
Not see, watch.
Will lead them into a nightmare. Next, Criminal Minds, new CBS this Wednesday.
Week 7 in the league begins with Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network, featuring an NFC West Division matchup between the Seahawks and the Niners. As we welcome you back to Studio 43 and the Verizon Halftime Report. Time now for our Thursday night preview. What are the expectations for this game?
You know what? This is a huge game. I mean, these teams have got to keep pace with the Arizona Cardinals, and right now, the 49ers have a chance to save their season. They have to win their home games. This is going to be always a physical battle, low scoring.
Always physical. You talk about a divisional rival. You know, right now the Seattle Seahawks have had the advantage for the previous years, but you can never. They can't afford to have a slip up. Like you say, they're trying to keep up with the
Like Atlanta and New Orleans last week.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't. When it comes to divisional games, you can't make this stuff up.
And Seattle Seahawks, they're just not the same team when they're not playing at home. So let's see what they play like when they go to San Francisco. It's coming off maybe their best performance, even though they lost that last drive to the New York Giants. I think it's going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, and I look for them just to keep evolving. I told you at the beginning of the season, I still think they can be a Super Bowl team. Obviously, defensively, they're getting back into their form with Cam Chancellor coming back as he keeps to continue to help that get that defense better. And then on offense, I want to see how they keep evolving with old Jimmy Graham. They're going to find a way to get him a ball sooner or later. They got to.
They cannot protect Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's taking a beating.
You say keep evolving with Jimmy Graham? How about start evolving with Jimmy Graham?
Folks in New Orleans would love to have him back, by the way. All right, the Verizon Halftime Report continues.
With Verizon, you have football in the palm of your hand. Watch live, local, and primetime games on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. It's included only on Verizon.
Code Black. New CBS Wednesday, 10, 9 Central. The world doesn't slow down for anyone. Neither do we. The bold 2016 Toyota Camry. Aggressively styled. With available 18-inch wheels, dual exhausts, and the most advanced features right at your fingertips. Including blind spot monitoring, and wireless charging. Now, get a new 2016 Camry with 0% financing plus $1,000 bonus cash. Or lease one for $179 a month with only $13.99 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places.
Okay, hope you're enjoying the video. It's actually a pretty good game.
Not too much. Just trying to keep up. Keep it going, Rusty.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
This is amazing.
That's amazing.
Real people are discovering surprising things at Chevy.
We're sold. It's so pretty. Beautiful.
Feels great.
Perfect. This is not what I would expect from a Chevy at all.
Get more than you expect for less than you imagined. The 2015 models are going fast. Find your tag and get cash back for 15% of the MSRP on select 2015 vehicles in stock. Or get 0% financing for 72 months on these remaining 2015 Chevy vehicles.
Thanks for making Local 12 your Facebook favorite. It's a full collection of expert quarterback analysis every week on NFL Monday QB. Tomorrow at 6 on CBS Sports Network.
So, why the Marines?
Because this is the land that I love, the country I'm honored to serve.
Well, it has been tight. It has been physical. Everything we expected between Cincinnati and Buffalo as we get ready for the start of the third quarter. Right now, let's take a look at Who You Love It, presented by McDonald's. Buffalo with good offense early. Touchdown run to get him into the end zone, and then late as they go right at that Cincinnati defense. Bengals scored 17 unanswered at one point before that last Bills touchdown. Spirit Sam and Wilcox. NFL on CBS continues. 3-point game, Sam, and any adjustments that Rex Ryan can make as they try to come back from 3 points down.
Well, I think Rex Ryan is doing a really good job because they're keeping the lid on this Cincinnati Bengals offense. They're doing a good job. This Bengals offense has always been very explosive, and right now Rex Ryan is keeping them hemmed in. I think what they have to do, though, is continue to keep pressure on Andy Dalton. They haven't had the sack yet, but Andy Dalton only has 78 yards passing so far in this game. If you're the Bengals, you got to find a way to free up their wide receiver, A.J. Green. Have to be able to produce more explosive plays for this offense. I think right now what the Bills are trying to do is force Andy Dalton to be patient, to have to go the length of the field without having those big explosive plays. And then E.J. Manuel, he's got to continue to be decisive. We saw him get much better in the second quarter than he was in the first.
Solomon, so much expectations for the Bills coming into the season. They hire Rex Ryan, all the free agent spending in the offseason. It was tempered after the New England loss, as you see Sammy Watkins moments ago on crutches just outside the Buffalo locker room getting x-rays. Still awaiting an official announcement on that injury from the Buffalo Yard people. We're going to see as quickly as we can. Adam Jones crosses the 25 out to the 30. And again, a penalty marker comes in. It's a return of 30 from Adam Jones. Here's Clete Blakeman, our referee.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 74. Release 10 yards from the spot of foul. First down, Cincinnati.
It's Jake Fisher on the penalty as we take a look at some of the numbers in that first half.
Great field position for the Cincinnati Bengals offense. One of the reasons why they were able to score 17 points in the first half. Protecting the football, penalties are down, and so your Andy Dalton, look at that, 78 yards passing for him in the first half of this game. He's got to begin to line it up and get more production out of the offense.
22-10 pass is caught. That's Marvin Jones. Brought down right after the catch, a pickup of 5. But just as I was saying earlier, Solomon, all of the heightened expectations for the Bills, then they lose the way they did to New England week 2 of the home loss to the Giants here a couple of weeks ago. Just so much importance on a game like this, another big test at home.
No doubt about it. That means they're going to have to play big in the second half.
2nd and 5, another quick strike. This is Jones, first down on the catch and run as he crosses the 20. Tackled by Preston Brown as he picks up 9, and they move the chains again. First half possessions for this vaunted Cincinnati offense.
Yeah, look at that. 3 plays, 7 yards on that very first possession. And remember, they're used to scoring touchdowns on that first possession in most ball games. And Hugh Jackson right now, I think, searching for something to shake loose for this offense. They've got to be able to create big plays. It's something they're accustomed to. And after a while, in an offense that is used to big plays, when you don't get them, you start to stress a little bit and can become frustrated.
Bills coming to the blitz. Dalton has to get it away quickly. Rex Ryan so creative with his exotic blitz packages and a defensive playbook that is very deep here in Buffalo.
Yeah, you see Duke Williams, 27. He's the free runner to the quarterback. It's something you cannot do against Rex Ryan's defense, is allow that free runner to hit your quarterback and knock him to the ground and force the high throw out of bounds.
We asked Rex about Andy Dalton, and the first thing out of his mouth was that game a couple of years ago when he was with the Jets. Dalton lit him up for 40-plus points. A game that Rex has had a hard time forgetting about. 2nd and 10. Dalton over the middle. What a catch by Hewitt. Had Duke Williams around his neck, makes the catch anyway. 16 yards and another first down.
Well, we told you some other players may have to make plays for this offense today other than Tyler Eifert or A.J. Green. How about Ryan Hewitt? Guys who play fullback, who can play tight end in this offense. All he is a good football player.
First and 10, Bengals will keep it on the ground. This is Bernard. One thing that this Bills defense has been awfully good at, Solomon, has been playing the run through 5-plus weeks.
That's one of the things you have to do if you're going to play against this Cincinnati Bengals offense. You can't allow them to have that kind of balance. I think they've been good enough against this Bills defense today, but not nearly as explosive as they would like to be, not nearly as productive as they would like to be.
Update on Sammy Watkins. It is indeed the ankle. You saw him on crutches outside the locker room. His return is questionable. Any updates we get, we will pass along as quickly as we can. Play clock down to 3. On 2nd and 8, Dalton airs it out down the middle of the field. It is caught. Miraculous catch by Marvin Jones. Stephon Gilmore with him step for step. How did Jones make that catch? 42 yards down the field.
Actually good coverage by Stephon Gilmore. But the fact that Marvin Jones really wanted this one. He was running as fast as he could and laid himself out to go get that ball thrown by Andy Dalton.
7th catch of the day for Jones for just under 80 yards. Here's Bernard darting over center. Crosses the 15, close to the 10. A majestic throw by Dalton and an even better catch by Jones.
And take a look. The safety here can't get over the top in time. And that's where they split the defense. And look at the speed and concentration of Marvin Jones to be able to get behind Duke Williams and Stephon Gilmore.
And that has been maybe the biggest area of improvement from Andy Dalton. As you pointed out, Solomon, the accuracy on the deep throws. Threw that one perfectly.
Here they got a linebacker at the bottom of the screen on Theo Bernard. Not what they want if you're the Bills defensively.
They stretch, screen pass to the wide receiver. It's Jones. Launching end zone. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Marvin Jones punctuating the brilliant he goes airborne into the end zone.
One of the things that has really plagued this defense is communication, or lack thereof. They were trying to get lined up, trying to get matched up. And again, everyone wants to cover A.J. Green. Look, he's blocking, kicking out on the wide receiver screen to Marvin Jones, and Jones did all the work on this drive. Big play catch down the field, and then wide receiver screen to get it into the end zone.
Third touchdown catch of the season for Jones. The fourth-year wideout out of Cal, their former fifth-round pick. Cincinnati goes 90 yards, 8 plays in just over 4 minutes. And Solomon, all the attention that the Buffalo secondary is paying to A.J. Green, Jones has been a beneficiary.
How many times have we said with this Cincinnati Bengals offense, as you take a look at it here, that's a great play. That you got to pick your poison. I mean, if you're going to double A.J. Green or Tyler Eifert, the other guys can beat you. Marvin Jones, Mohamed Sanu, even the running backs coming out of the backfield. How about Ryan Hewitt getting involved on that drive?
This was the depth that Cincinnati just did not have last season. No Tyler Eifert, out for all but 1 game. Marvin Jones out the entire season with a broken foot. It is a lethal offense. Jones, the incredible catch, and then airborne into the end zone for 6.
When did paying for airfare become so unfair? At Southwest, we do things differently. So differently, we invented a word for it: transparency. Transparency means we don't dream up ways we can trick you into paying more. It means respect. Because we don't just fly you, we like you. A better network, as explained by J.J. Watt, chopping wood in the middle of the forest. Verizon has the largest 4G LTE network. What does that mean? Well, pretend J.J. Watt is your signal. It means even out here, way out here, you'll find your signal working hard. Really, really hard. Because that's what a strong network does. That and play football. Watch live local and primetime games on NFL Mobile, only on Verizon.
Where's that mature?
So the boss, what's he like?
He's tired of the rich trampling on the poor. Your services are no longer needed. Just like the rest of the gang, wants to change things. Difference is, he actually can. Must say we take back London.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Available Friday, October 23rd.
Monday on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Kerry Washington. Plus, Stephen's got wedding cake toppers for all occasions. Monday. Then Tuesday, don't miss Kevin Spacey.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Andy Dalton surpassing his entire first half passing total on that drive alone, and with the help, some of Marvin Jones.
How long can you keep him down? I mean, they've got so many weapons. Marvin Jones was able to get deep, hauling in one for 42 yards. Dalton's going to continue to give him a chance. He did a really good job of reading the defense.
Dalton 5 for 5 on the drive, make it 5 for 6. On a touchdown. That's Denarius Moore. Guess what? A penalty marker is thrown towards the far side of the field. It's a 27-yard return for Moore. May have to play a little bit more as a wide receiver in the second half with the injury to Sammy Watkins, who, again, at last check, the Bills saying his return is questionable with the ankle.
During the return, holding, return team number 58, at least 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down, Buffalo.
Boy, it is an epidemic for the Buffalo Bills and these penalties. Randall Johnson is the culprit on that sequence. Cincinnati in front. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Thank you for calling Dish. This is Jill.
Hi, I'm Joe, and I heard I can lock in my price if I switch to Dish.
Yep, it's just $49.99 every month for 2 years, and you get 190 channels.
So my price won't go up? How do you do that?
How do we do it?
Dish is how we do
It's your TV price lock, $49.99 every month for 2 years. You get Netflix or NFL Red Zone from NFL Network included for 1 year.
Yeah, lock me in, Jill.
Call 1-800-DISH-LOCK or visit dish.com.
Our idea of a nightclub, a good crowd, and of course, bottle service. Fewer carbs, less calories, exceptional taste. Michelob Ultra, the superior light beer.
In the Outback, steak and lobster is back. We're pairing succulent steamed lobster tail or new jumbo lump crab cakes with our signature sirloin for a limited time. Try steak and seafood starting at $14.99. Only at Outback.
It was a blustery fall afternoon. Connor Bradshaw was in an endless run.
Catch those games yesterday? Had to work. Watched on NFL Game Pass.
That's when Connor found football. Lots and lots of football. With the new NFL Game Pass, Connor can connect to the football universe with all 256 regular season games on demand the next day. Welcome to the family, Connor. Welcome to the family.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. Outback. For a limited time, steak and seafood is back. And by Hyundai, an official sponsor of the NFL.
The happy fall activities here in Buffalo. 24-14 Cincinnati. First offensive possession of the second half for the Bills. And Sean McCoy is dumped down in the backfield. Carlos Dunlap and Vinny Ray combined on the tackle. Here was the injury to Sammy Watkins on the 22-yard touchdown at the end of the first half.
Trying to jam that leg in the ground to try to support himself. That's when it gave out. He went down, and now he's on crutches, being examined by the medical team.
Last we've heard is that his return questionable. Here's McCoy, bounces to the edge, crosses the 20, close to the first down marker. Reggie Nelson and Ray on the tackle. We pick up 10. No signal yet. Now the officials say first down Bills.
And now what do you do if you're in the field? How do you continue to work Shady McCoy and his ability to get to the next level? You can see 7,000 career rushing yards in his short career. These are home run hitters. So if you're Greg Roman, continue to feed him the ball. Then in the passing game, I think if you can get the run game going, play action plays are going to be there to Charles play at the next level of the defense. So good balance between run and pass if you're Buffalo.
Ready? First and 10. Here's McCoy. Nice job. Boy, it looked like he was about to spring free. But Reggie Nelson, who's had some big plays today for the Bengals, able to get him around the ankles.
Excellent tackle by Reggie Nelson, because if you don't make this shoestring tackle, look at that. All he gives you is a foot. It's enough to get LaShawn McCoy on the ground. And if you didn't make that tackle, he's going to run a long way. So good job by Reggie Nelson. Looks like Vincent Ray is down on the play.
And Ray has been the focal point and the play caller for this defense. Trainers onto the field.
This is iPhone 6s. Not much has changed, except it feels different. Now you press lightly to peek and deeper to pop. It changes how easily you can peek a flight, check a post, search for dinner. You guys are going to love that place. You can find a getaway easier. Yeah, go there. And find music easier. Wait, are you listening to your own song?
No, I was, hello?
So pretty much everything you do feels different. And that's what's changed.
Still haven't tried FanDuel's one-week fantasy football leagues? Over 1 million fans have already won money. Choose a league. They start at $1. Pick your team. Done. Winners get paid the next day, and there's no season-long commitment. FanDuel pays out $75 million a week. Get off the sidelines and get some. Try FanDuel today. We'll match your first deposit up to $200. Love it or your money back. Guaranteed. Go to FanDuel.com, enter promo code WATCH.
That's watch.
It's not gonna make it.
The kick is up, and it's good. The Texans win. The Texans win. What a comeback.
Yeah! The kick is up. It's good. In your face. I never doubted it. Woo! Texans!
How much do we love football?
Barbara!
You have no idea.
We won!
Hyundai is now an official sponsor of the NFL.
It's an episode that's truly cutting edge.
When I stab one of my friends,
We call it a touch.
If I say I want to touch one of my friends, I'll get called into human resources.
A new revenge CBS this Monday.
Go Bengals, go!
Appears to be a leg injury for Vinny Ray, starting linebacker for Marvin Lewis, play caller for this defense. What a career he's built after coming in undrafted back in 2010. P.J. Dawson, a rookie, fixes him for the moment. 2nd and 7 passes caught. Robert Woods picks up 8. And a first down for Buffalo, so both teams now dealing with some injuries to critical players.
Yeah, the Bengals have been really healthy so far this year. We talked about some of the injuries and setbacks they've had over the last couple of years. So far in 2015, cross your fingers, they've been healthy. There's Paul Dawson, the replacement for Vinny Ray, 3rd-round pick out of TCU. Andy Dalton's alma mater.
Former defensive player of the year in the Big 12 Conference. 1st and 10. Long play, this is McCoy. Little juke step as he goes into the blender. Crosses the 40, but another penalty marker thrown. This one right around the line of scrimmage. 7-yard run by McCoy. And already you can hear the groans from 70,000 plus.
Common occurrence here in Buffalo. Penalty flags on the field after a big play.
Bills had a game in which they committed 17 penalties here against the Giants.
Offense, number 10. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Second holding penalty against Woods today. We go to New York and JB.
Coach Carson, today's back up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Landry Jones right here finds Martavis Bryant for an 8-yard touchdown. 2-point conversion failed. Landry Jones replaces Michael Vick. His return is questionable with a right hamstring injury.
Spiro and Solomon.
Injuries an issue for teams all around the league apparently. Sean McCoy lines up out of his street. 20 after the penalty. That pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage. It was Dunlap who got a hand on it. Solomon 7 penalties against Buffalo, totaling 83 yards. As Ray is going to be carted into the Cincinnati locker room.
Yeah, that's a Ray, good tackler, good heady player for this defense. Remember, they're already without Vontez Burfict, their spirited middle linebacker who's been out since the middle of last year. Now, his backup, Vincent Ray, who started every game so far this year, he's out. Paul Dawson is a very decorated player, as you said, having gained some minutes here in his rookie season.
Ray had played all but 3 defensive snaps on the season before today. That's Boom Heron on the catch. Brought down right around the 35-yard line. They pick up 9. And that'll set up a 3rd down coming up. Tackle on the play by Emmanuel Lamurn. Solomon, that's difficult. Not only is he an integral part, but he's your play caller. Suddenly he goes out. And now they have to shuffle the deck and react quickly.
I don't think people understand enough that middle linebacker, that inside linebacker is kind of like the quarterback of your team. Has to communicate, make all the checks, and make sure the defenders get lined up and matched up with the opposing offense.
Daniel from the gun. This is 3rd and 11. The defense completes over the middle, but well short of the first down. Chris Gregg, one of their backup tight ends, makes the catch for 6, but they will punt. It is an ankle for Vinny Ray. And all they've told us at this point is that his return is questionable. As you see him going to be helped into the Cincinnati locker room. Just hate to see that. A kid who has worked so hard after being undrafted from Duke to build his name in the NFL. Cincinnati with Schmidt. He's had a couple of booming and impressive punts. One from deep in his own end zone. And first down, Jones able to dance his way across the 20. What a tackle. And look at the frustration by Jones as Garrison Sanborn able to make the shoestring tackle.
You know the rules. Eggs and sausage, hot cakes and butter. Morning fare, right? Well, McDonald's has thrown away those rules and opened a new world of possibilities. Now you're free to start enjoying the breakfast you love anytime you wish. No way. Yes way. Introducing McDonald's new all-day breakfast menu. Once you changed how you ate breakfast. It's time to start changing when.
Mary gets her bounce on. Wow, is like every mom from the neighborhood here? You are looking good. Using Bounce Dryer Sheets is paying off. Your clothes have fewer wrinkles, and Static Cling ain't bringing you down. Bounce, the 4-in-1 dryer sheet.
Spent the last time trying to figure it out.
Compare new and used cars your way. We'll let you know when we find the perfect car with everything you need. Life happens one car search at a time. Auto Trader.
Something was missing in Rodney's life. That was NFL Now, the easiest way to get more football since the dawn of the pigskin. Suddenly, he wasn't just Rodney, he was the Oracle of Rod.
Don't get too excited. That wall's water damage.
Crime, terror, and evildoers are no match for these brainiacs.
We're stuck in a foreign country with no way out.
It's gonna be fun. New Scorpion. This is just wrong. Monday, 9, 8 Central.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Auto Trader. Life happens one car search at a time. And by McDonald's, now serving all-day breakfast.
Cincinnati Bengals, first AFC North team to start a season 5-0 since the NFL realigned in 2002. Can they stay perfect up 10 as Andy Dalton back onto the field with his offense? First and 10 just outside the 20. Deflected at the line of scrimmage and batted down incomplete. Coming up tomorrow on CBS, the team of geniuses throw a Hail Mary to stop a bomb from landing in the wrong hands. Catch a brilliant new Scorpion tomorrow, 9, 8 Central, only CBS. Well played. Jeremy Hill passes to the outside. Buffalo able to hold. Tackled by Mario Williams and Kyle Williams. So we've been talking, Salman, about Andy Dalton, such a reflection of where this franchise is. The battle scars of 4 straight one-and-done postseason appearances, but a confidence that this team is different.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You get the sense that this is a young team that's going to mature and come into their own. They're a battle-tested team, and I think evident in some of the wins that they've had so far this year. They're going to be tested again here today, but you get the sense that Andy Dalton is up to the task.
Certainly has been to this point. His pass over the middle, complete. Mohamed Sanu. Upset with himself that maybe he didn't have a little bit more after that catch. What an effort by Sanu. 23 yards and a first down.
These seam routes have been open against the Buffalo Bills all season long. We saw the New York Giants take advantage of it. We saw the Patriots and Tom Brady just carve up this defense, hitting those same seam routes.
He's whistled dead. As Darby and Jones get tangled up.
Buffalo takes its first time out of the half.
That's something you rarely see, and something that Rex Ryan, didn't want to have to do. Apparently some confusion, Salman, so they burn the first of their 3 timeouts.
I think you got to use that timeout. It's a smart one because they're allowing receivers to get open in the seam. And this is an offense that can now pull away big time. And so you've got to be able to do it in terms of calling that timeout. As you can see, they were able to get the timeout call so they could get matched up, get lined up, and stop the bleeding right now. This Cincinnati Bengals offense capable of hitting a home run, and they can pull away big time on the scoreboard on this possession.
And one thing we should point out, Rex Ryan has coached some of the best defenses in the NFL over the last decade. He's never beaten a team that has entered the game with a top 2 rated offense. 0-6 is Rex all-time as a coach in those games. 1st and 10, Jeremy Hill inside Buffalo territory. Here's why Buffalo had to burn a timeout. Apparently, Solomon, they only had 10 players on the field.
Yeah, let's go ahead and count them for you. Okay. Look at that. 10 guys there.
Dalton quickly able to get him to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 7. Looks right near side. Sanu takes a hard hit. Duke Williams among the players in the vicinity. Also Stephon Gilmore. And now it'll be 3rd and 7. Decision time for Hugh Jackson and the Bengals.
Yeah, you know, for the Bills, it's hard enough covering this Bengals offense with 11 guys. And look, if they don't get out, they're going to snap it quick. If I'm Andy Dalton, you got to be able to go with the quick count and get the ball down the field.
6th play of the drive. Dalton all day to throw. Looks down the field, going to throw on the run. It's caught. A.J. Green for the first down. Green on a comebacker, helping Dalton 9 yards as they move the chains.
And how about the poise of Dalton? He sensed the pressure might be coming. Watch how long A.J. Green is running this route. And watch how long the rookie Ron Darby has to stay with him. But Andy Dalton has all day to stand in the pocket and then get the ball down the field to A.J. Green to pick up the first down.
Ronald Darby, the rookie out of Florida State, NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Month in September. Quick strike, this is Green. Quiet in the first half. Now starting to make himself known. Green entered the day 4th in the league in receiving yards. That's his 3rd catch.
Spiro can't say enough about the job the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line is doing against this front 4. They haven't been able to touch Andy Dalton, and he's had time to throw the ball.
First and 10, this is Hill. Gashes him up the middle, close to the 20. And Simon, you bring up a good point. This is a Bills defense that last year led the league with 54 sacks, just 9 through the first 5 games this season. What's been the reason for that?
Well, the Bengals are able to get, I think, good balance. You just saw the run play there, some play action. Helps to hold that defensive line at bay.
Here's Hill again. He's going to run for first down and more. They had to play New England here in week 2, and no one better than Brady in getting rid of the football quick. As right now, this defense on its heels.
That's something a lot of teams have been doing against this Bills defense. I think one of the reasons why the back tables are down, Tom Brady got the ball out quick. Eli did the same thing a few weeks ago. Last week, Marcus Mariota came out to the quick passes there. So they're just not able to get to the quarterback. And then when there's time for the quarterback home, they still can't get there.
Dalton has him rolling now. This is the man. Inside the 2, down to the 5. Boy, it was so critical for Buffalo to keep the points off the board. Can't ask too much from E.J. Manuel, who's making his first start in over a year. 1st and goal.
Now this defense is back on their heels. 8-play drive, and they don't seem to have any zest or zeal to get to the quarterback or stop the run.
Blue-shirted defenders led by Marcel Darius. It's about as quiet as you'll hear Ralph Wilson Stadium all season.
And this is what I think a lot of people in Western New York have been talking about. Right now, where's Jerry Hughes? Where's Marcel Darius? Where's Kyle Williams, Mario Williams on this defensive line that led the league in
That's because they wake you up at 4 o'clock if you didn't wake up at 4.
Line is not going to back.
A lot of money spent on that defensive point. But so far, they've been ineffective in this game. 12th play of the drive that started in their own 22. It's caught into the end zone by Tyler Eifert for the Cincinnati touchdown. They go right at Bakari Rambo. And the Bengals lead at 30-14 late in the 3rd.
Can you be any more aggressive if you're Hugh Jackson and Andy Dalton? You see one-on-one outside the 6'6", 250 Tyler Eifert against Bakari Rambo. This is the one-on-one matchup they waited all day for and finally got it. And Andy Dalton wasted no time. He immediately went quick snap to get it over there to Tyler Eifert.
Eifert had a monster game last Sunday in the comeback against Seattle. 6th touchdown catch in 6 games this season. And for Andy touchdown passes. 31-13, all Cincinnati. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
When a mountain needs to refresh things, it doesn't call for a cleaning service. It uses the cold to sift through every single speck. So if you wonder what inspired us to cold filter our beer, well, you're looking at it. Coors Light, born in the Rockies.
That's raw, refined, and all you. Now lease the new Nissan Maxima for $299 a month. Nissan, innovation that excites.
What happens to this little boy is unforgettable.
You're going to Australia.
And so are the people who made his wish come true. A powerful story on 60 Minutes tonight.
When your son brings home his brand new girlfriend, Clementine, well, that's a reason to celebrate.
Kaboom! What a lovely toast.
New Left to Pieces this Monday.
Well, two of the most important people in what has been a record-setting start for this offense and this team at 5-0. Hugh Jackson on your right, Andy Dalton on your left, and Tyler Eifert, whose return to this offense simply cannot be overstated.
Tyler Eifert said that at the beginning of the year, Hugh Jackson called him in and said, hey, get ready. You're going to catch a lot of balls. You're going to score a lot of touchdowns. Kept his promise.
Told him all throughout what was a pretty brutal rehab from that elbow injury that your time will come. As Solomon points out, said you're going to catch a lot of passes. And those words have certainly come to fruition. Well, never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every story, and every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app. Get it now at cbssports.com/mobile. How about the two last possessions for Cincinnati as they have silenced 70,000 plus?
Just going right down the field. It's like they can dial it up whenever they want.
Boy trying to bounce to the outside. You have to feel a little bit, Solomon, for this Buffalo offense. Just as they get LaShawn McCoy and Sammy Watkins back, they lose Watkins again. Nothing official that he is done for the day, but certainly didn't look good. Crutches outside the locker room.
This Bills offense under Greg Roman, they're a run-oriented offense. Run first, pass second. This is the situation they did not want to be in. Down on the scoreboard when you essentially have to throw in order to try to get back in it. Their offensive line is not built for primary protection. And then you can see E.J. Manuel tough throw behind his intended receiver, the tight end Charles Klesch. Reggie Nelson playing good defense.
As we mentioned earlier, after today, they'll get on a plane, fly to London tonight for their next 5 games on the road. Certainly like to go into that stretch at 4-2 instead of 3-3. Again, looking in the direction of Clay, deflected by Adam Jones. What an effort by him today. He is slowly going to be helped to his feet.
He's upset with himself. You know why? Adam knows he should have intercepted this one. Nice break on the ball. Look, 2 hands right there. Just goes right through his mitts. But what a break on the ball by Adam Jones. He knows he could have not only intercepted it, would have returned it for a touchdown.
Jones will be a free agent at season's end. I'll go out on a limb and say that Cincinnati wants to bring him back. What a player he's become in his 9th NFL season. As Colton Schmidt comes back onto the field. And a lot of concern right now on that Buffalo sideline, down 31-14. Bromick kick by Schmidt. Brandon Tate's going to play it from just inside his 30. Good coverage down the field by Buffalo. 47 yards on the punt as Manny Lawson brings Tate down after a pickup of only 4. Andy Dalton, nearly perfect last week in the fourth quarter in overtime, and that's carried into today.
He's been business coming out here in the second half. 42-yard rainbow to Marvin Jones did. A little flip on the wide receiver screen to finish off what Jones started. But then Mohamed Sanu, just another arsenal, another weapon in that arsenal, I should say. Then Tyler Eifert, talented tight end, getting the ball into the end zone for Andy Dalton. He's got more weapons in this offense, and he's using every single one of them.
Sammy Watkins now officially looking into out, will not return with the ankle. Quick strike, that's A.J. Green at the 46 and a first down. Solomon, so much talk about Andy Dalton, the shortcomings in the playoffs, that I think so many people have undervalued what he's accomplished in his career. Entered the league in 2011, no lockout. With the lockout, no offseason.
That's right.
Has led this team to 4 straight postseason appearances, which really, in this day and age, is remarkable.
It's an unprecedented period of winning in Cincinnati Bengals franchise history under their coach, Marvin Lewis. And these are a young group of players. He and A.J. Green came in the same year, and I think we want that microwavable quarterback who's going to instantly lead us to championships. But I think you have to really be honest that there's been a growth and a development pattern for Andy Dalton that has seen him just continue to grow year in, year out. And I think we're now seeing him right in his wheelhouse in that zone that you want for a championship quarterback.
Tonight, it's the episode you won't forget.
A guy came in my head with a bat.
People are angry.
We're not going anywhere until order's restored.
Criminal Minds. New episode, CBS Wednesday, 9/8 Central. Go beyond the ordinary. Striking design. Go beyond innovation with available intuitive touchpad technology. Go beyond utility with the Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once driven, there's no going back. Lease the 2015 NX 200 Turbo for $359 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
These are academic doctors responsible for training others in the fight against cancer. But right now they're not teaching. The region's best minds in cancer treatment are collaborating on a care plan for a single patient.
Nobody wants this diagnosis of cancer, but if you have to battle this disease, we want Cincinnati to be the best place in the world to be.
One doctor isn't the one making all the decisions. Multiple doctors collaborate to help the patient.
Choose the academic difference. Choose UC Health.
Let me get this straight. You quit your job, sold all your stuff to get a new car, and now you're just going to drive across the country. That is the plan. Wish I'd done that.
Discover the exciting and reliable option. Discover the key. Use the Optima LX for $189 a month. We'll get $2,000 customer cash.
No one covers our Bengals like Local 12.
Start of the fourth quarter, 31-14. Game that was 17-14 at halftime, favoring Cincinnati. They own the third quarter, now trying to put this game against Jeremy Hill. He's a 6'1", 235-pound frame, getting downhill. 9 yards, and Hill, this is the best that he's looked in a couple of weeks.
Well, you go back to a couple of weeks ago against Kansas City. Remember, he rushed for 3 touchdowns in that game. So, they're really just playing it based on personnel. Both running backs are going to have great numbers by the end of the year.
Strike on a 2nd and 1. Here's Jones. What a brilliant day he's had. First down, catch and run. 8 yards as we go to New York and JB.
Here's how you earn a nickname, Coach.
Yeah, they call him Big Play Barnage. It's Gary Barnage, the tight end. His 2nd touchdown of the day. He's 114 yards. His 5th touchdown of the year. They cut the margin with Denver. Denver 16, Cleveland 14.
Spiro Nevis and Solomon Wilcox.
No, what a huge win that would be for Cleveland. As week 6 continues around the NFL, you see what the Browns have done.
Cleveland was fucking around
as they look for their first win against a team 5-0 or better. First and 10, Dalton on this offense supremely confident. Up 17 points. There's a penalty marker thrown.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Rare mistake by Dalton's offense.
Yeah, I think Dalton just kind of lost track of the clock a little bit. Could have gotten that ball snapped before he ran out of time there. But, you know, Coach Marvin Lewis talked about the need to start fast and finish strong. Something they did 1 week ago against Seattle. And so you think with the lead they have here in the fourth quarter, they're still looking to put more points on the board.
First and 15 after the penalty. Dalton's going to take the shot. Boy, he had his hand. It was Sanu. At about a half step down the seam. Incomplete. Coverage by Nikel Roby.
With an impressive lead, they're still looking for more points, as we said. That's Mohamed Sanu. He had the step on Nikel Roby. And we talked about Dalton usually being very accurate with the long ball. That time he overshot Mohamed Sanu. Look at the numbers he's put up here in the second half. I should say by just the 10 yards downfield.
Dalton, 19 for 29, 3 touchdown passes. Hill breaks free, crosses the 35, nearly to the 30. Corey Graham finally on the tackle, but not before Hill picks up 10 yards to set up third down.
You can see Jeremy Hill, after that play, he wanted to go back to the huddle, hoping to get another snap. Now he's coming off. You know, he and Giovanni Bernard having to split time and sort of share plays. That means you got to take advantage of those opportunities when you get them.
Hill so far, 12 rushes, 50 yards. As you see Bernard now split out towards the bottom of your screen. Crossing right over the middle. It's caught. Eifert. They line them up, Sam, in so many different spots as this offense is really built around Eifert as a tight end, something you rarely see.
Well, look at it. That's wide receiver like skills and space against a corner. They're using their shutdown corner, Stephon Gilmore, against Tyler Eifert out on the perimeter.
First and 10, here's Bernard. Able to get to the line of scrimmage. Eifert had that incredible catch on that game-tying drive in the end of regulation last week. We asked him about it. He said his basketball skills and the old divers into the pool when he was a kid with his buddies kind of helped him for that moment. But really, there's no catch that this guy can't make.
He talked about his basketball skills. He kind of looked at us. He had a, sense of confidence. And if I wanted to play basketball, if I'd worked at it, I could still play. It was a matter of fact. The blue dream, the guy's hard, I tell you.
Second and 9, Dalton operates. Pocket collapses. Dalton going to buy himself some time to throw it out of bounds. You know, Eifert's pop, Greg, played at Purdue. He was actually a member of Gene Katie's first recruiting class. Great college basketball coach at Purdue. Eifert, a high school star in hoops in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Says he still has moments, as you mentioned, where he kind of wishes he stuck to hoops, but what a player, what a career he's got in front of him in the NFL.
Well, he credits his basketball skills for being able to come down to those tough and difficult catches you talked about. He said it's really like rebounding. You have to be able to time it, not about how high you can jump, but the ability to time it perfectly.
Needed the 18 for the first. Corey Graham on the tackle. They pick up 6. Marvin Lewis will send out his field goal unit.
Good tackle by Corey Graham, short of the first down marker on Sanu. Been tough to get Andy Dalton in this offense off the field here in the second half.
Tommy, you just look around the stadium of a sense of deflation. This crowd was jacked up. Really a chance for the Bills to make a statement in the AFC after some disappointing losses here at home. Well, it's Cincinnati will build on its lead. Now at 20 as Mike Nugent fades it through the uprights.
True luxury is not just a heated leather seat or refined chrome accents. It's the places it will take you. The Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most luxurious vehicle in its class. Get 0% APR financing on the 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee from well-qualified buyers, plus $500 Jeep Celebration bonus cash. The most awarded, rewarding SUV ever.
All right, listen up. We all know that DirecTV is better at this whole TV thing. So to beat them, we're going to get bigger. We're going to merge with Cable World.
Cable World? I can't stand those guys.
They're the worst.
They're totally incompetent.
That company stinks, and I mean they smell. I used to work there. I had to breathe through my mouth the whole time.
This is going to be fun, firing everyone.
Get rid of cable and switch to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Wake up and watch with the world. The NFL is streaming a live game on Yahoo. That's big. Jazz, live from London. The NFL on Yahoo. Watch with the world. Next Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern.
You are watching NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50.
Thursday night, your weekend starts here with the Seahawks and the Niners in a showdown in the NFC West. Thursday Night Football, CBS and NFL Network. 20-point lead for Cincinnati. They have been dominant since halftime. This was a 3-point game. Most undefeated teams in the NFL entering Week 6 since the merger in 1970. There were 6 of them before Atlanta lost on Thursday. Bengals, of course, looking for their third 6-0 start in franchise history. Denver right now a slim lead in Cleveland. Packers coming up next on CBS, and the Patriots will play later tonight. 5 remaining unbeaten in the NFL.
Tough out. Patriots team we know for real. Cincinnati equally dominant so far this season.
Meantime, plenty of questions that they'll be asking here in Buffalo if the Bills can't make a miraculous comeback.
It's here. The most advanced iPhone yet. Get the new iPhone 6s at T-Mobile. The network that's doubled its LTE coverage in the past year. Our new extended range LTE signal now reaches twice as far as before. It is 4 times better in buildings. Want more? Get our lowest price on iPhone 6s with trade-in. 0 upfront and just $5 a month with Jump on Demand. Get it now at T-Mobile. So, why little rings?
I'm honored to serve.
If the Dodge brothers walked into a dealership today, they'd be pretty impressed with what's become of their maverick car company. With all the power, performance, and ingenuity. But knowing them, they'd insist on serving the donuts.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dodge. T-Mobile. Ditch your carrier and switch to the Un-Carrier. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Well, the Ralph Wilson statue of the late iconic owner of the Buffalo Bills passed away in March of 2014 at the age of 95. What a legacy he's left here in Western New York. First and 10, each in the hand, over the middle. That's caught by the backup tight end, Chris Bragg, the former 7th-round pick out of Arkansas, 14 yards and a Bills first down. So obviously a lot of disappointment, Solomon, with where this game is. But what have you seen from Manuel in his first start in the year?
No, I think it's been an even performance. I think he can play better. He can be more consistent with some of his throws. But I think we've seen improvement from what we saw from him 1 year ago.
Keep it on the ground on first and McCoy across the 40 as we go to New York. Get an update with JB's coach.
Peyton's 9th pick of the season. The boys at Denver offense suffering. Watch right here as Carlos Dansby's going to step in front, pick this off, go 35 yards. For the interception return, 4th touchdown. It's Peyton's 9th interception of the year. 3rd straight game with 2 interceptions. They lead that being Cleveland 20-16 in the 4th.
Peyton threw 15 all of last season. Back to Spiro Ditas.
Wow, 9 picks for Peyton Manning. Unbelievable turn of events in Cleveland. Chris Gragg's forward progress looks like will take him across the 45 and will give Buffalo a first down.
You know, you talk about E.J. Mayo. I think he's got to use the 4th quarter here today and use this as meaningful time on the football field. They're going to be heading to London. Tyrod Taylor, I'm sure, wants back in there. So this is an opportunity for E.J. Manuel to maybe close the distance between he and Tyrod Taylor.
First and 10, short pass. McCoy, who's seen him lose his footing a couple of times. Now, speaking to Tyrod Taylor, you know he was chomping at the bit, A, to get back, and B, to be under center. Solomon with a full arsenal. Hasn't had much of a chance to play with Sammy Watkins or LaShawn McCoy. But now you have to wonder about Watkins and his status with that ankle injury.
Yeah, look at Taylor completing 70% of his passes in their first 5 games. That's rather impressive.
Manuel, 2nd and 9. Swings it far side. Caught. Woods. Trips ahead to the 30. Inside Cincinnati territory. 22 yards and a Buffalo first down.
And these plays are meaningful for E.J. Manuel. Start to establish himself and try to move the offense, put more points on the board. The key is at the quarterback position, with every play and every possession, you got to compete to put points on the board and move the offense.
Bengals showing blitz initially. Manuel throwing end zone. Hogan gets tangled up with Adam Jones. Fans wanted a penalty. No flags. As we go back to New York and an update with JB.
Peyton is a competitor. Yeah, it didn't take long for Peyton to respond. He finds Emmanuel Sanders down the right side. 75 yards. It's the first touchdown for the Denver offense in 27 drives. They now take the lead back from Cleveland, 23-20.
Spiro, sorry, somebody asked Coach, how far did he throw it? He said, just far enough. Back to Spiro. Yeah, guys, the 39-year-old quarterback isn't done yet.
That's incredible, isn't he? That didn't take long. Timeout, Buffalo. Bills will take their second timeout. Those groans continue here in Buffalo. Timeout.
The cool of the day, the scent of the trees, and the sounds from all sides of an orchestra performing entirely for you. Jeep Grand Cherokee with active noise cancellation to turn any street into a symphony. The most awarded moving SUV ever.
Well, did you know that playing cards with Kenny Rogers gets old pretty fast?
You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. What?
You get it?
I get the gist, yeah.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. New Tuesday.
Locked and loaded.
One pill makes him a brilliant detective.
Can we get access to the storeroom? Sure. What the combination is?
Is it 8273512335? It's written on the door jamb.
But can it make him a black belt?
Can you move?
No. The new hit drama, Limitless, CBS Tuesday.
Bills down to their last timeout. Down 20 from Interstate 10 for the NFL Today update presented by FanDuel, time permitting. Sending to the guys in New York. Get you caught up in week 6. Multiple catches. That'll be his 4th reception to take him over 30 yards and a first down for the Bills as they pick up 10.
Meaningful minutes for Greg also, as they start to incorporate a second tight end into Greg Roman's offense. Something he did frequently when he was in San Francisco. Remember the days of Vernon Davis, Delaney Walker? Tight ends helped fuel that offense.
Manuel on 1st and 10 trying to diagnose the defense. Eluding coverage. Manuel using his legs. Inside the 10, you forget Salmon about how athletic and mobile he is. 16 yards on the ground. First and goal, Bills.
How about E.J. Manuel? Vision down the field. I see, like, right now, he's looking at the defense. Tucking and running it. Like to see him keep his eyes up until he crossed that line of scrimmage.
Manuel had a rush. This is McCoy using his legs into the end zone. First rushing touchdown for LaShawn McCoy as a Buffalo Bill.
And I thought in that 4th quarter we talked about E.J. Manuel's got to use these minutes to show he can take the possession, put points on the board for his offense. He did just that. Made some really nice throws, good decisions with the football, running it himself and then giving it to McCoy for the touchdown.
4th, a 45th career rushing touchdown for McCoy. 7th NFL season, a couple of years removed from that incredible rushing title back in 2013. Point after by Carpenter, good. It's a 13-point game.
Introducing the biggest of 5 sizes on Verizon's new Simple plan. 18 glorious gigs for $100 a month plus $20 per phone. That's 50% more data for just $20 more. So you can do more of what you love without compromising on a so-so network. Because Verizon is the only network that's #1 in speed, call, data, and reliability. What's better than that? Get $300 when you trade in your device and buy a new one. Stop by or visit us online to get the biggest deal on the best network. Do you really think that's a good idea? If everyone jumped off a cliff, would you do it too? You'll lose interest. It's just a phase. It hurts me more than it hurts you. Where are your manners? Were you raised by wolves? You're going to give me a heart attack. When you have kids, you'll understand.
This is the life of a rebel. Sorry, Mom.
This Tuesday,
I have decided to take a field trip. What was that?
Abby gets locked down
I'm at the drug company, and the janitors are robbing the place.
and fired up
We only have one option. Go on the offensive.
on a can't-miss NCIS.
We leave no witness behind.
Happy caps.
We are coming to get you. New episode. Then, an agent from down under
Stop with a muscle.
is heating things up down south.
Because of the pretty redhead?
She's pretty something.
New NCIS New Orleans after NCIS Tuesday.
Anna Faris and Allison Janney star in Mom. Season premiere Thursday, November 5th.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Watch live primetime games with NFL Mobile, only on Verizon. And by Subway, the legendary sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Subway, eat fresh.
Passports have been collected, trucks loaded, as the Bills will head to the airport later tonight, make that transatlantic flight to London, where they'll take on the Jaguars next Sunday. Onside kick, about an in-between kick, if you will. A bouncer off the field trying to catch Cincinnati off guard. They were not fooled, as Brandon Tate is able to fall on the football. Well, speaking of that one next week, next Sunday, wake up and watch with the world. For the first time ever, the NFL is streaming a live game on Yahoo. It'll be Bills-Jaguars live from London, October the 25th, next Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You can learn more at yahoo.com/NFL Stream. So, Solomon, that'll be a little bit longer of a flight. If Buffalo can't come up with some kind of magic here over the last 6 and change.
About Buffalo right now, I'm going to keep playing. You got one timeout left. You got a 3 and out right here. And get the ball back for your offense.
Eifert unable to get out of bounds, so the clock, that's exactly what he wanted. Keep that clock running.
They're down
6:30 to play in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, they're down 13. So 2 touchdowns for E.J. Manuel, Greg Roman, as you can see them right there, plotting their course, just in case they get the opportunity. But if you're the defense, how about getting a turnover? How about making a play in this ball game? Right now, you haven't taken the ball away from this Bengals offense all day.
They push it 5-3. Yeah.
That's why we pay these guys the big bucks to come up with a play right here. This Bengals offense has been so short-handed all season long. That's Jeremy Hill. Minimal pickup. 3rd down as Buffalo will desperately try to get off the field. Preston Brown and Manny Lawson on the tackle.
Rex Ryan's defense, as good as they were in the beginning of this game, at times, you can see Bengals offense on 3rd down today, about 60%. The Bills defense has not made enough plays against the Bengals offense to make a difference.
Bills have 1 timeout, and we'll get the 2-minute warning as well. 37, he's got that more. 1st down, Cincinnati. And they'll be able to run down that clock a little bit more.
An inside zone read. 1 cut get going down here. Love the way Giovanni Bernard attacks the line of scrimmage. He's healthy this year. He's running much better. Came in averaging over 5 yards per carry today.
That's Kyle Williams, Pro Bowler for the last 5 years. Heart and soul of this defense. As if they haven't had to deal with enough in the injury category. Already lost Sammy Watkins today to an ankle injury. Busy day for those Bills trainers. Appears to be the left leg.
There you see him, right, Williams. Yep, that's him right there.
Oh boy, I can't even look.
They get anchored that way and someone falls down on their leg, as you saw there, holding his left knee. Puts him in a very vulnerable position.
What a career Williams has had, former 5th-round pick. Actually, he and Domatov Peko, who's headliner of that Cincinnati defensive line since 06, the year that they both came into the NFL, they've ranked 1-2 in tackles among all NFL defensive tackles. So much mutual respect between them. And now all the concern on that Bills sideline on Kyle Williams. And you can see the respect, Solomon, from the Cincinnati players coming over to make sure that he's okay.
Hope he's able to walk off. Here he is right there as he's engaged. And I think they're going to see someone fall right there on the back of his leg there. Looked like his own guy, Manny Lawson. Like he's able to put some weight on it.
Stephon Charles will come in to replace him. There is no replacing Kyle Williams, who's been doing it here in Buffalo for the last decade.
He's a worker. I remember during the summer when everyone was so excited about this team and the direction and the promise. And what did he say? Hey, we haven't done anything yet. Let's go out and earn it before you start to praise us. I thought it was the right approach. And if they can't come back in this game today, they're going to fall to 3-3, and they've got to cross the pond and go over to London they've got their work cut out for them. You know, Jacksonville's going to play them hard. But, you know, sitting here at 500 after 6 games is not the way they intended to start the season.
And then the injury, Solomon, starts to mount. We mentioned Watkins, Percy Harvin out. It's just such a brutal sport, such a cruel sport. There's a little bit more air comes out of that Bills balloon. Williams gingerly on the bench. Jeremy Hill buried in the backfield on a first down run. Manny Lawson and Charles, who just came in for Williams, dump him for a loss of 4. They will cart Williams into the Buffalo locker room. And that cart driver has had a busy day. Unfortunately. No hurry. Running that clock down as much as they can as we move under 4 minutes. Well, let's start to look ahead for these teams. How about Cincinnati? Got a bye week next week. That'll be a happy week off for Marvin Lewis and his bunch. And then they go to Pittsburgh, Solomon, and then a home game on Thursday Night Football here on CBS against Cleveland.
Yeah, despite getting off to a 6-0 start after today's game, if they hold on to the lead, still not enough to breathe easy if you're Marvin Lewis and the Cincinnati Bengals. The AFC North, you know it's not going anywhere. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, regardless of their record, it's going to be a tough out. These teams play one another very hard, very tough.
3rd and 9. Here is Hill dancing to the outside. Needed the 50, well short. And so the Bills able to get off the field.
Buffalo takes its 3rd and final timeout.
Rex trying to save those precious seconds. Will burn his final timeout. We mentioned the upcoming schedule, at least next week for the Bills. Hopping on a plane, they'll fly to London tonight. Take on Jacksonville and Gus Bradley next week. Then the bye in week 8 for them. And then a couple of divisional games. 3 consecutively, Miami, the Jets, that'll be a big one. And then they go to New England, Sally, in late November.
Yeah, 2 of them on the road, and even coming back home against Miami. Sooner or later, you got to start winning games at home if you're the Buffalo Bills. And then you get to that stretch on the road in your division, you got to start to steal a game or 2.
The Bills in danger of falling to 1-3 at home. 2 of those losses potentially could be in lopsided fashion. Good catch signaled by Denarius Moore. What a day Kevin Huber has had. 52 yards on the punt as they pin him back inside the 5. Coming up next, Phillip Rivers and the Chargers take on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers at Lambeau Field, or some of you will see the Ravens visit the 49ers. Check your local listings on CBS. Aaron Rodgers, nearly perfect at home. Staggering numbers. Look at the touchdowns to interception ratio. Solomon, it's just video game like with what he's done.
He's near a perfect period, isn't he? Home or away.
1st and 10. Daniel from his own end zone throws to the side of the field. That's Charles Clay. That'll be Clay's 7th catch as he moves over 50 yards on the afternoon.
You said it, Clay, the most consistent component of this offense, something they can build around. They just got to get healthy on the perimeter and have more receivers making plays with quarterbacks.
Daniel on 2nd and 2 down. Throws that he's completed as Clay unable to get out of bounds. What a play by Kirkpatrick.
It was a smart tackle, wasn't it? He literally pulled him right back in bounds, made sure that he didn't get out.
The clock is going to stop anyway because Michael Johnson is hurt behind the line of scrimmage. Johnson returning to Cincinnati after a rocky 1-year free agent stint in Tampa Bay last season.
There's Trey Kirkpatrick going up on Clay. Look at that.
That's a heads-up play.
That's a really smart heads-up play to keep him inbounds and keep Clay from stopping the clock.
Kirkpatrick, another first-round player in Marvin Lewis's secondary, and a guy who, like so many of these other players that Marvin has had to wait his turn, waited 3 years to become a starter. Something that Darqueze Dennard is going through right now. It's all part of this system and the way that they built this Cincinnati franchise.
Yeah, their ability to draft and develop. Marvin Lewis talked about it yesterday in terms of, hey, they know now that's the way it's done. And so you don't have to talk about it. No sense of complaining. You've got to earn your right to be able to get on the field.
You know, hope that Michael Johnson is okay. Johnson has had some big seasons for the Bengals. As we take another look at the injury, there he is wearing number 90. You see him just kind of spin around and throw Manuel to the turf. Tried to get to his feet, and then just kind of falls into a heap.
He got hurt tackling the quarterback.
11.5 sacks for the Bengals back in 2012. Former third-round pick back in 2009. Johnson did miss the preseason with a knee injury. Paul Gunther, all the depth that he's had with this defensive line, is able to keep some of these guys fresh. So right now, Johnson helped into the locker room. Here's Gunther's second season as Marvin Lewis's defensive coordinator. First and 10, here's Manuel. Throw over the middle, it's caught. This is Gregg again. Able to run out of bounds just inside the 35. That'll stop the clock, so one more play. Before the 2-minute warning, they pick up 19.
Here's Gregg, I tell you. He's come in and looked pretty good. 5 catches, 54 yards so far in this game. He's made good use of his time on the field.
He had only 1 catch entering today. So a lot of his work has come after Cincinnati built it.
As Manuel is set. It's Dunlap. Entered the day tied for most sacks in the NFL. That is his 6th of the season.
Carlos Dunlap making plays, getting into the quarterback. Cincinnati Bengals offense, defense, special teams, any way you want it, just serving it up.
I'd rather have dinner and a movie with.
No one I'd rather lean on. Being in love is an amazing thing. Being in love with your best friend is everything. Introducing the Ever Us 2-stone ring. 1 diamond for your best friend, 1 for your true love. For the one woman in your life who's both. Ever Us. New this holiday at Kay, Jarrett, and Zales.
Great suckers. Your car insurance goes up because of their bad driving. People try all sorts of ways to get rid of them. If you're sick of paying more than your fair share, get Snapshot from Progressive. And see just how much your good driving could save you. It's a place where young doctors learn to be great.
She's obviously faking. A lot of experience with that, huh?
But their youngest patient
I know how much you love your son. I'm going to make sure that you two walk out of here together.
will push them beyond their limits. Focused and unforgettable. Code Black, new CBS Wednesday.
Second and 17 for E.J. Manuel and the Bills. Final 2 minutes. Air drop from Charles Clay. as that'll set up a 3rd and long coming up. Special thanks to our crew here, our producer, director, Ryan Galvin, Andy Goldberg, rest of the gang in the truck, Alana Campbell, Stephen Florival, and Adam Cohen, and here in the booth, our statistician, Rusta Lynn, and our spotter, Rich Gaynor. Also a day Ellis, almost forgot a day. Parachuting in to help us here in Buffalo today. 3rd and 17, here's Quinn. Bumped right after the catch, after the 30. And the tackle by Dre Kirkpatrick. Salmon, give me your concern meter if you're a Bills fan after today. You go to London, obviously. They'll try to pick up the pieces against Jacksonville, but you're a 500 team now under Rex Ryan after 6 weeks.
You know, it's pretty high, to be honest with you, because they came into the 2015 season with so much promise and really so much swagger that just doesn't exist right now. Look at this guy by Chris Hogan.
Wow. Off the deflection, incredible concentration, 24 yards as they pick up a first down with 67 seconds remaining. EJ Manuel quickly up the field to spike it and stop the clock as Buffalo is out of timeouts. We go to New York in an update. Here's JB.
Cleveland putting up plenty of fight. Yeah, minute 30 left to go. Travis Coons, he kicks his 26-yard field goal to tie the game 23-23. Let's see if Peyton can do his magic again in the fourth.
1:25 left in regulation. Back to Spiro and Solomon.
Sorry, JB, so Cleveland trying to stay close and come up with what would be a huge home win.
Told you about those AFC North teams. They don't quit.
Errant pass by EJ Manuel. With exactly a minute left in the fourth quarter. And Salmon, a little tip of the cap to you. I know you're a little bit under the weather. We're basically outside here. It's been cold.
What are you talking about? I feel fine. I feel great.
I can hear the sniffles a little bit. I feel for you.
Well, you know,
it's
you
been
go
a rough
from
week for all of
hot
us.
to cold winter. Got to set in on a few of us pretty early. Look at that guy. Even people from Western New York, they got a little chill going through them.
We pulled in here this morning. There were people with their shirts off, drinking beers. Of course, that'll warm you up. But some great fans here that are used to temperatures way colder than this. As Robert Woods makes the catch, penalty marker on the field. Way back behind the line of scrimmage. If it stands, it's a 15-yard play.
Looked like it. Maybe coming back.
Well, the Bills fans have seen this movie before.
Holding. Offense. Number 76. 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
4th penalty against Buffalo. 4th holding penalty, I should say. That one against the rookie, John Miller. Their 3rd-round pick out of Louisville. Well, Rex is not going to be happy on that long flight to London later tonight. 3rd and 20. Manuel was nearly hit on the release. And the disappointment added to Rex Salmon against his old colleague in Baltimore, Marvin Lewis, coached together for 3 years. Some record-setting defenses. You knew that he wanted this one from a personal standpoint badly.
Yeah, Marvin Lewis, you know, his program is so much further along right now than Rex Ryan here in Buffalo. Rex got some building to do. They've got some coaching to do to get this team ready to play.
4th and 20. Manuel's going to take a shot and overthrows Woods. And that will do it as the mass exodus to the parking lot is on here at the Ralph. 34-21 as the Cincinnati Bengals are seconds away from matching the best start in their franchise history.
Well, we told you that Buffalo wanted to try to minimize the number of throws. You don't design a game plan where you're going to say EJ Manuel threw it 42 times in the game and go out and win it for us. They want to be able to run it and have enough throws to be able to create some plays. But this Cincinnati Bengals offense is just too hard to keep up with. They're putting points on the board in the bunches.
Well, you only can hope that Kyle Williams and Sammy Watkins' injuries are not as serious as they looked. As the final seconds tick off the clock. Final score 34-21. Cincinnati wins it. Bonus coverage coming up next here on CBS. For Salman Wilcox, our CBS Truth Bureau leader, saying goodbye from Buffalo. We go to New York and JB.
All right, Spiro, Cincinnati staying perfect with a mark of 6-0. Buffalo drops to 3-3. We take you now to the game Denver at Cleveland. 57 seconds left in regulation. All tied at 23. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, and Evan Washburn.
Hook up with Hartline. 2nd and 10 for Cleveland. 53 seconds left to play.
Hartline complaining that he was held by Roby. So that ball really was zipped by McCown. That is really good coverage by Bradley Roby on Brian Hartline.
2nd and 10 now. In a tie ball game. McCown stepping up. McCown under pressure. McCown feeds it downfield. It's intercepted. David Brugge. McCown forced it under heavy heat. And Denver has got possession with 44 seconds left.
Yeah, I'm thinking McCown's trying to get this ball out of bounds, but as he bounces around in the pocket here, Denver bringing the pressure, a 6-man pass rush. Right there, he's being grabbed and pushed. Cannot get enough on this ball to get it out of bounds, and there is Bruton for the pick.
His 2nd interception of the season. McCown with a mistake as he took a shot from Trevathan.
Unable to follow through because of the hit by Trevathan.
44 seconds left on the clock. Denver needs about 30 yards for McManus. No timeouts remaining. Manning throws. It's on line to Thomas. He couldn't get out of bounds, but picks up 13 yards. Broncos are moving quickly. We're down to 32 seconds left.
That painful spike is to stop the clock. Regroup.
There's the spike. Clock stops with 27 seconds remaining.
And Brandon McManus has a big leg. He's had 4 field goals this season of over 50 yards. His longest 57. And not all those were kicked in the thin air of the Mile High city of Denver.
This is Denver's 4th road game of the season. 18 yards would give him a 57-yard attempt to match his career high. 27 seconds left. Manning steps up. Manning throws. Sideline. Incomplete. He bounced it in the direction of Sanders with Tramon Williams back there. 21 seconds remaining on the clock.
Yeah, trying to throw a back shoulder to Sanders turned out to be a back ankle. As the ball came in just a little bit low, Sanders unable to adjust to it, or that would have put McManus in field goal range.
It is 3rd and 10 for the Broncos. Manning on 3rd down, looking downfield. Manning hooks a pass. Oh, what a grab! Emmanuel Sanders! Time is trickling away. 8 seconds left. 7 seconds left. Sanders is in the end zone.
He thinks he scored a touchdown.
We're down to 2 seconds. 1 second, and time has expired. Sanders kept running with the football. The question was whether or not Sanders got it cleanly.
And now the question is, did he hurt his left shoulder? Let's take a look at this attempted catch. Well, that ball moved a lot when it hit the ground. But was he touched by Tramon Williams? I don't see a touch there. Not sure, though, that this was a catch.
If it was considered down there, Denver's got to rush to the line. They have no timeouts remaining. Sanders took it to the end zone, then grabbed at his left shoulder. Meanwhile, the clock is still rolling. There were 10 seconds left when Sanders got into the end zone. So the two questions, is it a clean catch, and was he touched?
Well, how about a third question? If he wasn't touched, was he out of bounds? Right there, he's out of bounds, so the clock could stop there. They can review it and see how much time was left when that toe touched the out of bounds. That's if they consider this a catch.
What a wild ending here in Cleveland.
That's no catch.
You feel the ball hit the ground clearly while it was moving.
And that's when he gained control of the ball as he rolled over. So as an incomplete pass, the Broncos will have another play.
But it would be fourth down.
Or will they punt?
Lots of questions here.
And not many answers just yet, huh?
Mike Carey, our NFL rules expert, watching back in New York. Mike, what'd you see on the play?
Wow, what a play. So the rule is that you have to have complete control when the ball hits the ground. The ball hits the ground. He does not have control. When he comes over, the ball is loose, rolling on his chest. Incomplete pass is what I would rule. There's 14 seconds on the clock. They get another shot on fourth down.
All right, let's hear from Craig Rolstead.
After review, the ruling on the field has changed. It's an incomplete pass. Therefore, it is fourth down and 10 for Denver on the 43-yard line. Timers, please put 15 seconds on the game clock.
Okay, so that's where we stand. Fourth and 10, 15 seconds left. Mike, thanks for the explanation there, and that's exactly what Dan saw on the play, the movement of the football as Sanders was trying to gain control of it.
Now, for Kubiak, do you go ahead and punt this ball? Having watched the highlights of the Michigan State game yesterday, or do you just take a knee, actually sending out the punting team?
Well, they got to. I mean, Cleveland's got 2 timeouts left.
Yep.
So the Broncos have to punt here. The incomplete call has forced the Broncos into this scenario. It could have gone a different way. If they ruled that a catch and Sanders' foot was out of bounds, they would have been in field goal range with a chance to win it. Colquitt will punt it. 15 seconds on the clock in a tie ball game. Nobody's back there. Colquitt trying to place it. This ball will roll into the end zone. With 8 seconds remaining, Cleveland will have it at the 20-yard line.
Well, you go back to that decision by Mike Benton to go for the 2-point conversion and not go for the normal 1-point try. That's where we are right now. It's with overtime looms.
Well, it put Cleveland in a position after Denver scored the touchdown that they were down 3 instead of 2. So the Coons field goal could have been for the lead instead of the tie. Tight formation. Browns will take a knee. And we will go to overtime in Cleveland. The Broncos have won 10 straight against the Cleveland Browns. It's going to take overtime to determine this one. Another look at Sanders.
That was a great throw by Manning. Heck of an effort by both Williams and Sanders, but clearly the ball will touch the ground, and Sanders does not have control until he is on his way back to his feet.
And Sanders is heading towards the locker room.
Well, he's definitely hurt his shoulder.
And that's the end of the Cincinnati Bengals. And, gotta ask somebody who won. Hey, Dad. We're outside now. Who won the game? Who won the game?
Bengals. Well, I had to win that game.
Dad, who won? Bengals?
Yeah.
Yes, the Bengals won! Alright, this was a 2-hour long video. Man.
This was only 2 hours, probably 200 minutes.
2 hours. I mean, well,